The reason you shouldn't be like Adrian is because Adrian wasn't here to debate. I don't think we really know what Adrian was here to do, but he definitely wasn't here to debate. Adrian said, "It'll help America in all ways." He sounded like Trump, bro. "Mass deportation will make everything better. If we deport all of the illegal aliens, inflation will go goodbye. GDP will rise. You will all be worth $1 billion. That's right, everybody. That's right." He said, "It'll help everything. It'll help everything. I can't tell you how. And if anybody says anything else, they are wrong. They are wrong, 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 wrong. And I'm super inebriated. It might only be 3 p.m., but I already have 3 old fashions with 2 ounces of whiskey each, which is a double shot under my belt in my belly. In my belly, being processed by my kidneys." That's right. Hello, what is going on? Do you support Trump?
I would say that I'm more in the middle, but I do think that Trump has done good things. And I would like to speak to you on immigration policy for one,
Who do you think
and
should have won the
Obama.
election?
Iran.
Like, who do
What's
you
up?
wish was president right now, Trump or Harris? Who'd be doing a better job?
That's very subjective, for one. And for two, wow, I'm a little nervous. 14,000 people in the live. And I respect you, Dean. I think you make very good points. I think you have you're very educated, all that. But
Appreciate that. So who do you think would be
yep.
better?
I think that Trump would be a better president.
Okay. All right. We'll debate. Let me thank a couple of people here. Melanie, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal, saying I love you so much. Thank you so much for the love, Melanie. Let's get 150 Melanie W's down below. I would also like to thank Lana for the $1, Kana with a 5, Caroline with a 3, and Crystal with a 5. Guys, thank you so much for the love over on PayPal. Show some love down below in that chat. As well as Fashiony, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. You're phenomenal. As well as Ashley with the $10 on Venmo, saying first white guy I've ever heard say I deserve reparations. Well, I think that reparations are necessary. There's very strong arguments for it as well. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, Ashley. I appreciate you for the love. As well as Chris, 7 minutes ago with the $25. Let's get 250 Chris W's down below in that chat. That is KRIS saying, for educating Trump supporters with a resilience to stay the course. Thank you. No, thank you, Chris, for your kindness. That is incredibly kind of you. Show some love to Chris down below, as well as Jesse, that is JASSII with the $10 saying, for your service as a true patriot. I appreciate you for the love, Jesse. And then Alani with the $10 for the continuous determination to educate those that don't even understand what they actually voted for. I appreciate you for the love. Alania. If you're watching and you like what we do here, if you want to support my work, not just the live streams, but also the content I throw out, feel free to support me on Venmo or PayPal, which can be found in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms, and you get a shout out, as well as you could find them in the pinned message over on my YouTube stream. And then one last person before we hop into the debate here, Violet, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying, Dean, keep doing what you're doing. My father's Maga, and it's very nice to see somebody educating others. Thank you. Thank you for the love, Violet. That is incredibly kind of you. But take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
First, I'd like to speak on immigration, and this isn't really supporting Trump. Do you agree that every other country in the world has immigration laws? They don't allow illegal, undocumented citizens to enter the country. Am I right?
Well, I think that definitely, like, every developed country in the world has immigration laws. If that's your argument for why I guess we should support mass deportation or whatever the hell, would you say because every other developed country in the world has universal health care that we should have that too?
I do believe we should have universal health care.
Okay, Donald Trump doesn't. In fact, he's been defunding Medicaid and Medicare, acting against what you believe in, making those with the least among us the worse off. Not just through his cuts to things such as Medicaid and Medicare, other social safety nets, but also by reducing their after-tax income with a BBB. Why is that not a deal breaker for you?
And earlier you were arguing with that one girl. What was her name? I can't remember. But you talked about how they need to make it easier to get into the country. 100%. That 100% needs to be a thing.
Can you answer my question?
I'm not going to lie. I didn't hear a word you said.
Yeah. So you said that you agree with universal health care. I pointed out.
Yep.
how Donald Trump is defunding Medicaid, defunding Medicare, defunding Social Security, defunding food stamps, defunding social safety nets that exist for low-income Americans, while actively making the material conditions worse on top of that by reducing their after-tax income with a big, beautiful bill, advocating for tariffs that they disproportionately pay for, and now starting war with Iran, which is potentially going to shut down the Strait of Hermes, which, if that were to occur, would significantly increase the price of oil, making gas more expensive and all goods more expensive, which would once again disproportionately disenfranchise those among us with the least. So what this means is that he is very far against, right? Hermos, sorry, I apologize for the pronunciation. He stands very far against the values in which you hold to be true, as it relates to the treatment of low-income Americans. Why is this not a red line?
So a lot of there is a lot of talk about defunding things, but I haven't exactly researched into Medicare, Medicaid, that kind of thing. But everything else that a lot of people have been saying that he's defunding, he's getting rid of this. That's not exactly what's happening. He's taking away a smaller percentage of funding and reallocating responsibilities and funding within the government and making a lot of things more efficient and getting rid of some things that are very what's it called? What's the word? Unnecessary jobs, unnecessary money that's going to places that aren't actually doing anything.
So, I mean, he's defunding Medicaid, Medicare, and food stamps. Okay, and if you think those things are unnecessary, all that this means is that you don't.
That's
think
not
the
what I
social-
said at all.
So then, what did you say?
Is he cutting the funding for those three things?
Yes,
100%, like taking all of it away.
he's cutting the funding for those things. Yes,
How much? By how much?
1.2 trillion from Social Security. I think it's close to 2 trillion from Medicaid and Medicare. He's also like cut funding from the VA. They had to lay off like 35,000 employees. I think in his first administration, like 40,000 people got kicked off of EBT. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. Those things are wrong. Those are things that he's doing are wrong.
So why
right?
don't you hold a red line against him because of these things that he's doing that you think are wrong?
Well, can you tell me right now, has any president ever been perfect and not done things that are wrong?
No, I think that every president does things that we could disagree with, but like that's going to be a significantly bad thing, especially if you would support social safety nets like universal health care.
No, 100%. And although, like, yes, you're right, 100%. He should not be cutting those things. He should not be getting rid of them.
So being a Trump supporter while also supporting universal health care, like I just never see it because people that support universal health care hold a red line against him because of all of his cuts and the ways in which he's really serving to the worst interests of low-income Americans. Were you lying when you said that you support universal health care?
No, I do, 100%. I think universal health care.
Okay, then why is him like quadruple slamming low-income Americans, not only through these cuts, but also through the BBB reducing their after-tax income, through tariffs that disproportionately impact them, through inflation which disproportionately impacts them? Why are these not like red lines?
I don't think there ever should be a red line on a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like some things are hard, some things are difficult to achieve. And America is a country who's never had complete universal health care. Right?
Okay, so you're saying that he's basically doing more good than bad. So what is the overwhelming good that he's doing that cancels out the bad generated by like quadruple dunking on low-income Americans through tariffs, inflation, defunding social safety nets, and reducing their after-tax income?
So when I entered the live, I told you that I wanted to speak on immigration and then the bombing of Iran. And that it just completely takes a turn. You do this every time. You change the conversation to something that he is doing that is wrong, away from things that could be talked about that he's doing or that are good.
The last question that came out of my mouth was, what is the overwhelming good that he's doing that cancels out the badness generated by quadruple dunking on low-income Americans through inflation, tariffs, reducing their after-tax income through taxes, and defunding social safety nets? So I'm literally asking you what the overwhelming good that he's doing is.
I really entered this thing to talk about immigration, for one, and the bombing of Iran. And I said
So
that when I
are
entered.
you saying that immigration and bombing Iran, that's the overwhelming good that he's doing? That
No.
cancels out?
Those are the two topics that I wanted to talk on.
Okay, well, so if those don't cancel out the bad generated by, his treatment towards low-income Americans, this just means that you ultimately wouldn't support him.
I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote at all, actually. For one,
Oh, I know, but you said you support him. So this would cancel out your
I think
support.
he does good things. I think he does good things, and
But if, obviously, if he does more bad than good, you're not going to support him.
and now this is the
the
third
galaxy.
time that I've asked to move back to what I was talking about before.
Right. So the bombing of Iran and immigration. So do you think that the bombing of Iran and immigration serve as an overwhelming good that cancels out the bad that he's
these are
doing?
the two things that I wanted to talk about.
So are you basically saying that like there's like the level of harm that he's done is really high and the level of good that he's done is really low, but you just want to talk about like the level of good that you think he's done, even though it's significantly lower of the level of bad that he's done?
Wow, Dean, I want to congratulate you. You're very good at taking things out of context, right? And
I'm asking a question.
no, you change the conversation. You flow forwards.
No, we're talking about immigration and bombing Iran. So you think that those are a level of good things that he's done? The level of good
I do think
things,
those are.
are they
I do think those are good
higher
things
or
that-
lower than the level of bad things that he's done from your view?
Those aren't the only two things in the equation, though. It's just two separate things that I would like to talk about.
So
if you don't want to talk about those two things,
I'm gonna give you one
can move
last.
on to the next person.
Well, if you think that those are good things that cancel out the negative, I want to talk about them. So are they or are they not?
What I was saying before about every country having immigration laws, do you think
Get out of here, bro. Skedaddle. Hit the road, buddy. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. That guy's gonna hit the road because he just can't answer a question. And like the moment when I'm just trying to like have a good faith discussion with him, he's like calling me like this gaslighting deflector. Like, dude, well, like we're just trying to determine, if like these things outweigh the bad. It's like the easiest question known to mankind. Can't answer it for shit. Skedaddle. Disrespectful towards the truth. What's going on, Kelly? You support Trump?
Oh my God. Hi.
Hi, Kelly. You support Trump?
I'm sorry. I'm geeking out a little bit. We actually came on here. We sat on here for hours just to tell you how much we think that you're a true American patriot. I am 30, bro. Okay, I'm actually 31. My daughter is here. She's a big fan of yours. She's 11.
Oh, jeez. Well, if it's endorsed by the mother, I appreciate that. You guys are awesome.
I know that you came on here to debate and everything. I just wanted to give you a little break and tell you how much good you're doing.
Well, I really appreciate you. That is incredibly kind. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. And thank you once again so much for coming up here and showing kindness.
Oh, you too. Say hi, Emma. Hi.
Have a good rest of your day, you guys. Bye-bye.
You too.
Take care. We're going to move on to the next guest. That was incredibly kind. And yo, Stephanie, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal, saying because you're amazing and you put yourself through the BS to educate and also to show us what kind of stupid we are up against. I appreciate you. Thank you, Stephanie. Can we please get 250 Stephanie W's, not just for the $25 donation, but also for like the incredibly kind message? And I'd also like to show some love to Bryn for the $5 and Wilderhouse with the 50. Oh my God, Wilderhouse with the $50 donation, 500 Wilderhouse W's, says, I've only been listening for a few days. Thank you for helping to educate the sadly confused MAGA supporters. You are single-handedly taking on the damage Fox News has done and continues to do. You and David are their Goliath. You are David to their Goliath. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Thank you. Dude, you guys are so kind. Once again, thank you not just for the $50 donation, but the super, super, super kind message. I want y'all to show so much love to Stephanie and Wilderhouse down below in that queue right now while we're hopping into this next debate, everybody. That is seriously so incredibly kind of the both of you. Very, very kind-hearted. As well as Micah, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal, saying, just want to say I appreciate what you do. Thank you, Micah. Show some love to Micah for the 15, Wilderhouse with the 50, and Stephanie with the 25. What is going on, Shizload? Are you MAGA? Do you support Trump?
What's going on, man? I wouldn't consider myself MAGA. I would consider myself independent. Somewhere in the middle of both. With some things I don't.
Okay. Dude, overall, do you support Trump? Like, if Kamala Harris was president right now, do you think things would be better off or worse off?
That is a good question. I would have to say it'd probably be worse off.
Okay. Have we already talked?
I don't know. I think
We have. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go. D, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I appreciate that. That is DEE. Thank you so much for the $10. Show us some love to D down below in that chat. We're getting that next guest up in here. As well as Violet, thank you so much for the $10 over on Vimeo. Thank you for the love, Violet. And Martina, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. And everybody, we just got an update. This is coming through a notification on my phone. Funny enough, it's from Truth Social. So we know that JD Vance said this morning that we don't want a regime change in Iran. 1 second, Nick. And that we just wanted to take away their ability to build nukes. Well, Donald Trump just posted saying, make Iran great again, indicating that he does want a regime change, which could mean boots on the ground, full-scale war in the Middle East again. So that is just coming in. That is just coming in, everybody. That is a hot update. That is a hot update. What is going on, Nick? Do you support Trump?
Of course.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 19.
What year are you born in?
2006.
Why do you have a shirtless picture as your profile picture?
Because I do a lot of gym,
Right.
A lot of gym type shit.
Okay, well, I want you to take away. Tell us why you support Trump. But before we do, Alexandria, thank you for the $25 over on Vimeo. Thank you so much, Alexandria. Thank you so much. James, thank you for the 12 and 100K. Thank you for the 7. Show some love to Alexandria, James, and 100K down below in the chat.
You
Take
ready?
it away, Nick. I am.
Basically, he stopped any nuclear threats in Iran,
Do you think they have nukes?
I mean, you don't know that they could be building some. Got to get rid of it early,
So do they have nukes or do they not have nukes?
I don't live in Iran. I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, I mean, U.S. intelligence tells us that they don't.
On what? Google?
No, on whitehouse.gov, Tulsi Gabbard, the Secretary of U.S. Intelligence.
U.S. intelligence. But has she ever been to where they nuked?
Are you telling me that the Secretary of American Intelligence personally has to go to different places in the world to know anything about
Well,
it?
I mean, has there been any drones, footage of the actual place that was nuked? You know what I mean?
Wait, what? There's no place in Iran that's been nuked. What are you saying?
Yeah, I literally saw TikTok. Trump literally nuked the nuclear power plant.
No, he dropped bunker blasters. Those are not nuclear weapons.
Well, I didn't mean nuclear, sorry. I just meant bomb type, you know what I mean?
Larry Loon, thank you for the summer solstice. So restart. Why do you support Trump?
Just a saying, Just
So why do you support Trump?
because he's keeping us safe. Why would you risk them?
So
You
like
don't know
yeah,
if
like
they're
starting a war so like starting a war is like keeping us safe. Yeah, that's like
No,
like,
he's
like
stopping-
that's
he's
like
stopping
having
Iran.
sex to keep your virginity.
Well, I don't know why you would do that. It makes no sense.
You're right, just like starting a war to keep us
No,
safe. makes
that's
no
two different
sense.
things, buddy. Talk about sex and war. Come on, bud.
What's the analogy that I just made? Because I think it was clear.
I think it was
super
terrible,
clear.
to
The
be honest.
comparison that I'm
That was a
making is
That was a
having
low
sex.
IQ one, though.
Okay, explain to me the analogy.
Can you repeat it one more time? I just got lost because it was so zero brain cells. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you a story before I repeat it. Junior year of high school, I was in Calculus 1 or 2 at the time, and I didn't do any of my homework. And when I'd be in class listening to my professor, nothing he said would make sense. But that wasn't because he was a bad professor. That's because I was a bad student that didn't do my homework.
Yo, what are you reading right now, dude?
I'm not reading anything.
You were just reading off a screen behind you. It's
Screen
okay.
behind me.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
your
show you.
PC screen. You gotta look up them notes. Come on, man.
I will literally show you what is behind me right now. Would you like to see?
Yep.
Okay, phenomenal.
Closing tabs. I mean, that was a good 20 seconds, Could
Okay,
close it.
Closing tabs. All right.
It's okay.
Well, you definitely have no head on your shoulders.
Come on. All right. Why do you think Kamala is a good president? Or would be, sorry.
So I just want to clarify that the claim that you just made was I have a question. What was I reading off my screen?
Can you answer one accomplishment that Kamala Harris has done?
Yeah, for sure. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and do it with a blanket over my head so you can't accuse me of reading off of a screen. We call this a blanket of infinite wisdom. So Kamala Harris was an incredibly accomplished politician. Specifically, serving as VP, she helped influence some of the most accomplished and influential policy in modern American history, such as the PACT Act, which was a direct investment of $800 million into the expansion of VA healthcare benefits so they could offer new benefits to over 1 million new veterans that weren't covered previously. She also helped influence the Chips and Science Act to get passed, which was a $35 billion investment into subsidizing American chip producers so we could up our domination insofar as global chip production, moving us from 1% to 30% in 5 years. This is why we now see chip facilities popping up in Iowa and Arizona. She also helped influence the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act, which both helped rebound America from the pandemic, set caps on the price of insulin, as well as focus on investment into non-renewable energy resources and renewable energy resources alike. Overall, I'd say that she was an incredibly accomplished VP for those reasons. We could also talk about the fact that she passed more tie-breaking votes in the Senate compared to any VP in American history, and her qualifications outside of her accomplishments that I just listed are also immense. She served in all 3 branches of government. She served in the executive branch of government as a vice president, the judicial branch of her government as a attorney, DA, AG, and she served in the congressional branch of her government as a senator for 2.5 years. She was an incredibly accomplished and accredited individual with great accomplishments under her belt from the last 4 years, and even better policy that she ran on that would be doing great for America today, unlike Donald Trump and his regime of tyranny, inflation, human rights violations, consolidations of power to the federal branch of our government, violations of the constitutions, and anti-democratic actions such as the one that he took when he tried to steal the election from Biden in 2020. Feel free to come off pause.
That's pretty. I don't think that was good though. Those are all like small stuff that weren't really world problems. You know what I mean? Like under Joe Biden, like so many soldiers got killed. Like,
How many?
couldn't tell you. It was a lot though.
I could tell you, 16. How many were killed under Trump's first term?
I don't think more than 16.
No, there's 64. That's coming from the military's website. And how many more soldiers do you think would be killed if we decided to put boots on the ground in response to Iran's retaliation?
Say that again, sir.
Oh, wait, you're about to talk about wars. Make the point so I can make you look silly.
All right. How many wars were on Trump's first term compared to Joe Biden's term?
Okay, for sure. Yeah, under Donald Trump's first term, we saw a 432% increase in drone strikes in the Middle East. We saw that we had started the Turkish-Kurdish war by our pullout in Kurdistan. We had a proxy war with Russia and Syria, as well as the ongoing war in Afghanistan. But if you want to talk about war, Donald Trump is already.
I think there was more
in the Middle East.
There was more under Trump's than Joe Biden.
Did Joe Biden put us into another war in the Middle East?
Trump didn't either.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we're in war with Iran right now.
No, they know better. They know better.
We're not in war?
No, they know better.
Is Israel in war with Iran?
Yeah, well, Iran just bullying.
Can I have a yes or no? Is Israel in war with Iran?
Iran just bullying them.
Are you going to answer my question? Is Israel in war with Iran?
What'd you say?
Is Israel at war with Iran?
Is Israel at war with Iran? Yeah, basically.
Okay, when did that war start?
I'm not sure. I don't watch it.
Did it start the moment Israel dropped bombs on Iran?
What'd you say?
Did it start the moment Israel dropped bombs on Iran?
Did it start the moment Israel dropped bombs on Iran? You're saying Israel started it?
Yeah. But is that when it started?
I'm not sure. Was it?
Okay, so if you're just not sure about anything, how could I possibly further my points?
I asked you about it so you can further your point. Let's hear.
Yeah, the answer to the question would be yes. Just like
because I'm listening.
Would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say that the war between Israel and Iran started when Israel decided to bomb Iran?
Say that again.
Did the war between Israel and Iran start when Israel decided to bomb Iran?
I don't know.
Okay, why don't you know?
Because I'm not too. I only started gaining information recently. I wasn't like.
But what? I think that like a third grader could say, yeah, like okay, one country bombed another country, and that other country retaliated. That's war, right? So we bombed Iran. Iran's retaliating right now. That's war.
You said it wasn't the same as bombs earlier, but now you're saying
No, I said it wasn't nukes. Do you think all bombs are nukes?
No, I'm saying
Okay, yeah, earlier I just said it wasn't nukes.
Nuclears are much more powerful.
Right, so I'm saying it's bombs. I'm just saying it's not nukes, and there's no contradiction.
I was just explaining what nuclear means to you. I don't know if you knew.
You just said that earlier I said that it wasn't bombs, and now I'm saying that it is bombs. That's a critique that you just offered, correct?
See, why do you talk like 30 miles per hour, man?
I'm not talking fast, you're just listening slow.
So basically...
Diego, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I appreciate you for the love, as well as Darian. Thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Diego, Darian. I'd also like to thank Amanda for the $20 on Super Chat as well, saying that you are the best. Thank you, Diego, Darian, and Amanda. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. As well as the Fire Bully with the $10. Thank you guys all so much for the love. And then Annie with the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat as well. Show some love to our Super Chatters down below in that comment section. As well as Kyle. Thank you for the $50 over on PayPal. Let's get 500 Kyle W's down below in that chat literally right now. Kyle says, the difference you're making is incredible. Keep going. Kyle, I really appreciate that, man. The $50 donation is incredibly, incredibly kind, guys. Please show some love to Kyle down below. As well as I'd like you guys to show some love to Maria and Jeffrey. Maria and Jeffrey both each donated $25 over on PayPal. Maria says, thank you for educating people. And Jeffrey says, you're doing great work. Show some love to Kyle, Maria, and Jeffrey down below in that comment section right the hell now. As well as Melanie, thank you for the 5. Millie, thank you for the 5. And Jason, thank you for the 5 as well. You guys are all phenomenal. I'd also like to thank Deborah for the $25 over on Venmo, saying for all your hard work, research, and patience trying to enlighten MAGA voters, that for most people would try the patience of God, but you persevere and I admire that. Thank you so much for the love, Deborah. I really appreciate. Wait, what's that?
What? What did you say, Buck? You see, you pause when I talk about gifts.
Yeah, what did you say?
Like your brother's money. Come on, man. Lock in.
Thank you for the $25, Deborah. Show some love to Deborah down below in that chat, as well as to Guadalupe for the $10 over on Venmo, saying thank you for the education. I really appreciate everyone so much for all of the love, guys. Seriously, thank you so much.
Thank you for the roses, yo, Connor. Thank you for the roses.
Bro, what the fuck are you doing?
All right, lock in, buddy. So basically, what we were talking about is Israel and Iran are at war right now, and America's trying to make peace by going at Iran because Iran keeps it going.
We're trying to make peace by starting war?
Yeah, by shutting it down.
I'm trying to maintain my my virginity by sleeping with 25 people. I'm trying to get a wife by breaking up with my girlfriend. I'm trying to become a billionaire by burning every dollar to my name.
Dude, you must you know that way too well. You might have used to be a Trump fan or something. I don't know. Joe Biden might have, snuck you a 20,
So do we see there how it makes no sense to say that we're trying to maintain peace by starting war?
It's shutting things down so it doesn't lead to further war. Yeah, I'd say it's better.
Wait, so what is your claim? Can you be very specific about what your claim is here?
We already have problems with Iran.
Wait, can you be very specific about what your claim is? How does starting war maintain peace? Because starting war...
Shutting the target down and becoming peaceful.
Yeah, but we haven't shut the target Iran down.
Yeah, because we're making
Iran
sure
is
that
retaliating by shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, which will cause global inflation, make our gas cost more. They could also retaliate by targeting ICBM missiles at U.S. military bases in the region and possibly even our embassy in Israel. And they've already retaliated by launching more strikes against Israel. So, I mean, we've already seen an increase in global tensions. We've already seen more war, more fighting, and more retaliation since the war started last night. So this is obviously not a maintenance of peace because of the retaliations that would come from Iran, as well as the retaliations in which Donald Trump had promised.
That's just not right.
Okay, what did I say that was wrong?
That's like CNN.
What did I say that was incorrect?
Trump is literally stopping the retaliation.
No.
Waiting for Iran to strike.
No. You said I was wrong. What did I say that was wrong?
What did you say that was wrong?
Yep.
The last
fucking
hold on.
bot.
Dog,
Yeah, that's right, you bot. Oh my
the dogs are
god,
barking.
my name is
Hold on.
Nick. I just get to say whatever I want. My beliefs build reality. So if Dean says something that proves me
Dude,
wrong,
are you narcissistic?
I just have
You think
to
you're always
say
right
that
or
Dean.
something?
Wait,
You
one
think you're always
second.
right or something?
One second. I'd like to
You're a
clarify.
narcissist?
You don't need
What?
to be a narcissist in order to think that you're smarter than somebody with an IQ of the average family pet.
My IQ is way larger than yours.
It would be higher, not larger.
Larger number, you know, same thing.
No, it'd be higher.
Okay, you're just like talking way too proper etiquette. You know what I mean? You gotta relax.
Can I ask you what IQ stands for?
Intellectual intelligence.
Intellectual intelligence. That would be II, not IQ.
Oh, you were asking like.
Tristan, thank you for the galaxy. What
I
does
thought you were
IQ
just
stand
asking
for?
the meaning. I didn't know you were asking the abbreviation.
So what does IQ stand for? So we could tell when you go on pause and go to Google. And we actually can't even hear you when you do that. My IQ is so much higher than yours, but I actually don't even know what IQ is. Silly Nick, silly boy.
I knew intelligence.
Silly boy Nick. Jesse, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Let's get 200 Jesse W's down below in that chat. Thank you so much.
I just don't think like
the 5. And thank you so much, you guys. You guys are
I
so
just don't think
incredibly
you're
kind.
locked in though.
All right,
Like you're saying all these facts that like don't even like. Well, they're not facts. Actually.
Hey, everybody,
Well,
watch
they
this.
be right.
Bada boom. Hey, wait, I have a question. What do you do?
Facts aren't always right.
What do you do with a soccer ball?
Trump 2028.
You do Trump 2028 with a soccer ball?
Yep. You can't hang up first.
Okay. Well, he ran away. Oh man, that's the best possible outcome. Oh man, that was a great outcome. Thank you so much for doing that, Nick. I really appreciate that. Thank you for giving me a good laugh. That was awesome. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Here we go. What is going on, Brana? Do you support Trump? And they're not here, so we're going to move on to the next guest. Guys, for everybody watching, I mentally prepared for really shitty Trump supporters today. So, I mean, I expected this. I'm not going to lie. But how are you guys feeling? I mean, these people today suck. What's going on, Ian? You support Trump? And Ian is not here either, so we're going to go and back out Ian and move on to the next guest. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms. And that's also preferable to TikTok gifts or YouTube Super Chats because I only get around 30% on those two platforms. Let's see here. CJ, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Saying Dean at this point. Just kick him. Yeah, I did kick him. Thank you for the $20, CJ. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the love, CJ. And Wayne, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. And thank you so much for that. That's what I was asking from you for yesterday. So I appreciate you for that information, Wayne. I can't read that out loud, but thank you so much, Wayne. Let's see 500 Bruce Wayne W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the love, man. And what is going on, D Brown 24? You MAGA?
No, sir. I just want to say thank you, and you're a really good person, and I appreciate everything you do.
Hey, dude, D Brown, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you for that love. Show some love to D Brown down below in that comment section while we get that next guest up here. And Mel V, in the meantime, I need to thank you for the $10 saying that last guest had a brain the size of a pea. I couldn't agree more. Show some love to Mel V down below in that comment section for the $10. Thank you so much. What is going on? Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean. So I don't want to really speak on this. I wanted to reach out. I really appreciate everything you do. I wanted to reach out because I wanted to get a hold of you. I would love to fly out and have a wonderful conversation and compare our perspectives. Please consider my story. If not, that's fine, but I wanted to reach out to you anyway. And if not, I still wanted to let you know that everything you do is awesome. So have a great day.
Well, hey, how about this, man? It definitely takes some gold to go in front of 14.2 thousand people and request to fly out to have a convo. I'm gonna pass, but I will say it does definitely take a little bit of a gut to do that. So good on you for the confidence. Good on you for the confidence. What's going on, Thatcher? Do you support Trump?
Oh shoot, I don't, but I have a friend who does, and I.
All right, everybody. It looks like we need to go over the rules once again, everybody. If you are in the guest request, make sure that means that you're at least 18 years old from America, and make sure that that means that you support Trump, everybody. Please, please, please make sure that you are following those rules. It would mean the world to me because we are just looking to debate people that still support Trump after all he's done. As well as Kat, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate everyone so much for the love today. You guys have been incredibly generous, incredibly kind. Thank you so much, everybody, for the love. Wait, whoa. Somebody in the chat called me rude for flying out. Okay.
Hey, Dean.
Yeah. What's going on, Britton? You support Trump?
Yeah, I do, man. I was just gonna say one thing. I don't agree with what he's doing right now. I did. Well, actually, I don't know now. I'm kind of split 50-50, you know. I think the last president we had, I thought he was doing really good, you know. I think a lot of our...
I can't hear you that well. It looks like you got a little bit of an echo and you're outside.
Is that a little better?
Oh, sorry, Britton. I got to kick you, man. You are driving. Unfortunately, cannot be driving on TikTok. But, I mean, hopefully you can take something away just from listening. I appreciate that. What's going on, George? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you? Okay, is he going to his calendar to see when he was born? I don't know. Moving on. We got Dylan loading up. What's up, Dylan? You support Trump?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
20.
Great. We're the same age, Dylan. That's crazy. Let me tell you, that's nutty. Jade, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Let's show some love to Jade down below in that chat. Let's get 200. JW's. Jade says, currently on night shift as a paramedic here in the UK. Love watching you. Makes it easier. Lots of love. Lots of love to you as well, Jade. Thank you so much for the incredibly kind message and donations. Show some love to Jade down below. As well as Sarah, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for your kindness. Thank you very much. And take it away, Dylan. Tell us why you support the man, the myth of failure, Trump.
Shit, you done made me look stupid.
Okay, Dylan, take it away. Why do you support Trump? Okay, they left. Got it, man. Okay, breaking. Got it. Okay, all right. Yo, Z! Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. Dude, show some love to Z down below. Z, you've been here the last couple days. I've been noticing you. I got a photographic memory, so I remember the names of like the individuals in which support me. And I've been seeing you for the last couple days, Z. I really appreciate you for that. Let's get 200 ZWs, as well as Debbie. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. And Zoe with the $20 over on Venmo. Jesus Christ, you guys are going wild right now. Show some love to Z, Debbie, and Debbie and Zoe. Shout out to Z, Debbie, and Zoe. You guys are awesome. Debbie didn't leave a message. However, I do believe that Zoe did. Zoe says, keep up the good fight, Dean. Thank you. Thank you, Zoe. Show some love to Zoe down below in that comment section. Z, Debbie, and Zoe. As well as Benedict with the $10 saying thank you for everything that you do. I appreciate that, Benedict. Debbie, Zoe, Z, and Benedict. I appreciate the four of you guys so very much. And welcome in, Dylan. Are you MAGA? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how old are you?
24.
Oh, God. Okay. All right, well, we're going to let you take it away. Tell us why you support Trump. Maybe one thing before I do. And once again, I'm so sorry for this. I just want to make sure I thank everybody.
I would ever allow bums to do is groom my children, put tampons in boys' bathrooms, let gays run the streets, let illegals in 24/7.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the list can keep going.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's break that down.
Let's break this down. I've been following you for the past, not following you. You just pop up. You've been popping up on my stuff since what, 2 years now, and it's gotten you nowhere, man. I don't even know why you're still doing it. I don't even know why you're going to be doing it for the next 3.5 years to lose again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Dylan. You have some big emotions. Yeah, and I'm going to ask you to calm them down a little bit. Listen, I'm here for good faith, productive dialogue, Dylan. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're probably going to get gagged and leave and run away, but I guess we'll keep that off. But I do want to talk about what you said, but before I do, there's a handful of people I got to thank. First and foremost, Jay, thank you for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love. Forgive me if you already know, but Iran did order the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, we did hear about that. Yeah, dude, that is terrible. Thank you for the love, Jay. I want to see 500 JWs down below in the chat for the $50 super chat over on that YouTube stream, as well as another J, just the letter J this time, with the $50 over on PayPal. So shout out to the two J's. One is J-A-Y, another is just the letter J. Jay says, just a brilliant job, carry on. Thank you so much for the love, as well as Myra with the $20 over on PayPal saying, supporting from Texas, keep being you, Dean. Appreciate you for the love, Myra. Kylan with a $25. What are you guys? You guys are going crazy right now. Kylan with a $25. Show some love to Kylan down below in that chat. And Vex, what the fuck is going on? With the $50 over on Venmo saying, Dean, thank you for your comforting words and helping us make sense of the most recent events in Iran. Thank you for the love, Vex. All of you. The two J's, Kyra, Vex. I'm so sorry that we're kind of interrupting this debate here, but you guys are just going absolutely wild right now, and I want to make sure that goes appreciated. So thank you guys so much for the love. W's all around, but now it's time to actually absolutely drill this idiot. So one of the things that you said there is that you don't want gay people on the streets.
Not running the streets, parading the streets.
So you're not down with pride parades? Why is that?
The pride parades, you know, all that stuff.
What's wrong with pride parades?
It always turns violent. There's always some problems about it. Something always bad happens.
Well, I'm gonna show you a video real quick. So this is actually something that I had posted on my Twitter account. Here's a video of a woman that is like you, anti-LGBTQ+, going up to a pride parade and giving them the finger. And I want us to watch together how violent the LGBTQ+ protesters in the pride parade were.
But that's only one video, though. That's only one video.
So I mean, let's go.
I mean, you're showing one video.
Let's just go ahead and just watch it back. So look at them. They're being so violent. They're being. So,
but you're only showing one video.
Well, I mean, you didn't even give me one video. So what's your evidence that they all turn violent?
Well, I'm not on here to be giving you videos. I'm on here to
what's your evidence that all the?
I don't really know how to show you a video on here, to be honest.
So do you have any evidence that all the pride parades turn violent?
Do you have X? I'm pretty sure you have X.
The video.
Just go look it up on X. You can find anything on X.
Okay.
Also, shout out real quick on the live to my boy Trump doing his thing over there in Iran. Shout out to him.
Okay. So you don't have any evidence.
Military. Shout out to everybody.
So you don't have any evidence that pride parades turn violent. So that was just a baseless rhetorical claim made by a very silly, stupid.
What kind of? I simply told you just go to X.
Well, I mean, what do you specifically want me to find on it?
I don't have. I'm not over here screen sharing and stuff. I don't have.
So what do you specifically want me to be able to find on X?
Just look up violent gay parades. I mean,
anything. Okay. So if you specifically add the word violent to it, what do you think is going to populate in the search results?
Well, I put money on it if I look up.
So I want you to go to X, and now I want you to search up peaceful pride parades. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Everybody. Okay, you know what? I don't support Christian churches in America. I think that all Christian churches need to be banned because Christian churches are so violent. And now my evidence of this is if you go to Google, X, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., and you type in violent Christian churches, you'll be given more than enough evidence of their violence. You know what I mean? Like truly. I think that gyms should be banned in America. And my evidence for this is if you go to X, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, etc., and you type in violence in gyms, you'll be given all this evidence of violence in gyms. Do you see how absolutely idiotic and stupid that last point was? I mean, do you truly see it? I need to stop saying those words. TikTok, I'm sorry. I meant them metaphorically in Minecraft. Also, I can't hear you when you're on pause. He's probably running away. While he's doing that, I'd like to thank Paige.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Did you hear my response?
Yeah, I heard your response.
Okay, so then how do you feel about it? Because seemingly you could find violence anywhere as long as you look for it, and that's what you're doing. If you go to
in all the churches and stuff like that, I believe some are. There's not a doubt. You know what I mean? But like the church I go to, I've seen them accept everybody. I've never seen them judge people. I've seen them help the homeless.
Oh, wait, so you think that helping homeless is a good thing?
Huh?
If helping homeless is a good thing, name one thing Trump has ever done to help the homeless. While you think about that, let me thank
Well,
May
no,
and
here.
Paige for the
I'm not
$5
gonna
both
think
over at
about it because I
Venmo.
don't
May
pay
and Paige, I
attention
really
to it.
appreciate you guys so much.
know
As
what
well
I
as, oh my God, yo, Kathy with a $100 donation over on PayPal. Kathy says, I appreciate you so much. Rock on. Let's get 1,000 Kathy W's down below in those live chats. That is so incredibly kind of you, Kathy. Seriously, thank you so much. That is so much money. Jesus Christ. Let's get 1,000 Kathy W's down below right the hell now. Seriously, guys, show some love to Kathy. As well as Diana, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo as well. So shout out to Kathy and Diana. Yo, Mr. Guest, can you show some love to Kathy and Diana? Can you say W Kathy, W Diana?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No, I'll give them W's. Give them W's.
Very
But
nice.
I have one more thing, and I'll let you go. All right? Dean?
I'm not going to let you go. I want to talk to you about why you support Trump. What's one Trump policy you're
Okay.
fan of?
Well, no, I want to go back to the topic we were just on X, because I did what you said, and I typed in peaceful pride, or peaceful gay pride, whatever I typed in, peaceful pride parade, and the first thing that popped up was people twerking in front of kids. The second video was violence. So I typed it in, and I still got what I said.
I have an idea of why.
Do you think twerking in front of children is okay?
So I have an idea why. Are you ready?
You think it's my algorithm?
No.
You think it's what I like or what I repost?
It's because it's X. Like what we see on X.
Okay,
Is
but
going
here's
to
my
be,
question then. If
No,
it's because of it,
I'm gonna speak. You're gonna listen. It's because it's X. Like X is a right wing platform. So I mean, like majority of the people that are gonna be posting about pride parades on X are going to be posting the negatives, in which we'd see some of the times, right? Like for instance, I'm looking at the same thing you are of chaos at a pride parade. I'm seeing that same video. Right? But this is going to happen in a very small fraction of pride parades, just like this happens at a very small fraction of all public outings where there's a lot of people collecting together. Right? For you to act as if this is specific to pride parades is incredibly disingenuous and is propagandistic, and the only purpose that it serves is to further the narrative that pride parades are violence or there's something inherently wrong with the LGBTQ+ community that doesn't conform to what society should be. Right? So for that reason, I absolutely deny your argument. Right? And this is insane. Like, think about it, man. Do you think it's reasonable to say that I could go and find a video of just about any public outing where there's a lot of people collecting in one space with violence in it? Like, you name it. Think about protests for, like, anti-abortion protests. It might take me 30 seconds to find one video of violence at an anti-abortion protest. Or even, just like a church get-together outside, like maybe one of those, like, twice-a-year outings where they get the whole church together and they eat tacos or whatever the fuck. I bet I could go and find one video of violence at one of those church get-togethers or concerts. We could find one video of violence at a concert or a baseball game. We could find one video of violence at a baseball game, football games, basketball. So if your argument is that you don't want pride parades for this reason, would you also say that you basically want to completely end all public outings altogether? Because we'd also be able to find videos of violence at baseball games, basketball games, football games.
the more I think about it, if we didn't have people go outside, we'd have a lot less problems.
Okay, so yeah, so like
simply think of it like in a realistic world, people just stop running their mouths and stay inside. There'd be no problem.
Yeah, so in other words, your argument here is that you support Trump because everybody should stay inside. It's just like laughable. It's just
but I never said that.
Yeah, that is what you said. Because remember, that was the ultimate reduction of your view of what's being against pride parades.
Trump because I don't like people going outside.
But that's a reduction of your view.
I support Trump because if Kamala wasn't, I would say this: if Kamala won, okay, sorry, whatever her name is, if they won, we would have been at war either way. It doesn't matter who wins. We were going to war.
Oh my
we were
God.
weak. We were weak. If Trump didn't win, what guarantees us not going to war?
I would say that there'd be a significantly lower likelihood.
How?
Because she has a head on her shoulders and can think more than one step ahead. Like I don't think that Donald Trump thinks more than one step ahead. If Kamala Harris was president right now, she would have been like, oh, well, if we help Israel and we start bombing Iran, well, then Iran might turn around and retaliate by closing the Strait of Hormuz or bombing our military, bombing some of our military facilities in the Middle East. And if we didn't retaliate with them with a larger scale hitback, which would just restart and relaunch war in the Middle East, then we would look weak. And because we don't ultimately want another large scale, never ending war in the Middle East that costs thousands of our lives and causing and inducing inflation for the average American consumer and so on, that we're just simply not going to join in on the war. So that's why I'd say that she wouldn't have started the war if she was president, because she could think more than one step ahead.
So did you not think we were weak when Biden was in office?
I mean, the answer to your question is no, but like that definitely has no relation to our discussion relating to the fact that we wouldn't have been in this war if Kamala Harris was president.
I disagree. I mean, the world thought we were weak with Biden in it.
Wait, who?
And then who was Biden's vice president?
Could you be more specific? Who thought we were weak?
I'd say the entire world.
Okay,
we were
be more specific. Okay, who's laughing at us?
Was every day getting broke down.
Who was laughing at us? Tell us.
Russia, China,
no. Actually,
North
Russia.
Korea.
So Russia.
Oh, did you
Russia sure is
personally?
wait. Russia sure as hell thinks that Donald Trump is more weak than Harris or Biden. We've leaked Kremlin documents where Putin calls Trump easy to manipulate. Why don't we have those on Harris or Biden? If anything, we could suggest that. No. Listen, that Putin thought they were formidable, and that's why he's interfered with the last 3 elections to ensure that they didn't get elected. So you're wrong about Russia. What's next? North Korea? Well, I mean, actually, I don't see any evidence to believe that Kim Jong-un found Biden or Harris any less or more formidable than Trump. But like, we do certainly know that he.
That doesn't make. Wait a second. Go back to Russia, because what you just said doesn't prove that Russia wasn't laughing at us. You called weak. All you said was that Trump has been proven to be weaker.
Yeah, what it proves is that
that doesn't mean that Russia wasn't still laughing at us the whole entire time.
I mean, I think what proves them to be formidable in the eyes of Putin was the fact that they were supporting Ukraine and gave Ukraine the upper hand to start winning the war against their country, and also the fact that they've interfered with the last 3 elections to push pro-Trump, pro-Russian, pro-Republican propaganda. Like, if they weren't scared of them, if they didn't view the administration as formidable, then why were they interfering with our elections to make sure that they didn't win?
So here's a question.
No, answer mine.
Oh, my fault. What'd you say?
Yeah, if they didn't think that Biden or Harris was formidable, then why were they interfering with our elections, pushing propaganda to ensure that they lost?
Oh, I haven't seen any proof of this election being rigged. To my knowledge,
I never said rigged. I said interfered with. And yeah, the proof for 2024 would come from the DOJ. I'll give you the evidence. So the DOJ did a report, and they found that the Kremlin was funding right-wing influencers such as Tim Pool or Benny Johnson $500,000 per month to push pro-Trump, pro-Republican, pro-Kremlin propaganda to sway the public voice and a vote and opinion away from the candidates on the left. This was proven by the Federal Department of Justice.
So what point are we making here?
That they found them formidable, and the evidence that they found them formidable was the fact that they were spending millions and millions and millions of dollars to try to make them lose the election and to sway the public opinion away from them in America.
Okay.
All right, but this also has no fucking relevance upon the original claim that you made that I refuted, that if Kamala Harris was president right now, we wouldn't be in war because she could think more than one step ahead.
Well, I have a question to that. So it's bad, right, that we attacked Iran getting into the middle of their conflict, correct? So
starting war in the Middle East was very bad, yep.
Right, but us giving money to Ukraine to fight Russia, is that not going to want Russia to be like, well, let's go get America then?
It actually prevents that from happening, so it helps protect national security. There's about 1,000,000,001 reasons why I support funding Ukraine, but like specifically looking at national security, we've already tried to take the pacifist approach of just ignoring them when they do things like the annexation of regions of other countries or other countries as a whole. Like we ignored them when they annexed Crimea back in 2018, and then what happened? It made them stronger, and it made them more likely to further the expansion of the USSR and overtake more regions with more people, which gives them more resources, which makes them a larger superpower, thereby more of a threat to our country. So it's actually in the best interest, like security speaking, to help fight against Russian expansionism. However, it's not in our best interest to re-enter into war in the Middle East.
But us giving money to Ukraine,
I just explained why that's a good thing.
What about BRICS?
I just explained why that's a good thing out of concern for national security.
You think Russia was all by themselves?
Wait,
you ever heard of BRICS?
unironically, funding Ukraine weakens BRICS.
So then why isn't Russia and China doing anything about what America just did?
Why isn't Russia and China doing anything about what America just did?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought they backed Iran.
Why is that relevant?
How is it not relevant? You're making it seem like it's a bad thing. So what makes it so bad? Nobody's doing anything about it.
War is bad.
Well, I would say war is bad. I wouldn't say a strike to keep America from being nuked is bad.
Wait, we sent one strike.
We sent one strike.
Do you think that,
that's what they're saying. They're saying nukes. They are developing nukes.
Wait, who's saying that Iran has nukes?
Israel.
Yeah, they've been saying that since the 60s.
Yeah, they've been saying it for years. Trust me, I've seen the same.
Yeah, they've been saying that exactly. So I don't think that Israel's going to be reliable, right?
Now, do I think there's something sneaky going on with America and Israel or whatever? Yeah, probably.
Wait. Do you think if we had an American president that basically gave Iran the green light to start constructing nukes, that we should get him out of office?
Yes.
Okay, well, Donald Trump gave them that green light when he pulled us out of the nuclear peace agreement we had with the country. So when they were in the nuclear peace agreement originally signed in 2015, they were under 24, like all of their nuclear facilities were under 24/7 surveillance by the IAEA, as well as the IAEA reported 0 infractions upon the agreement in the 5 years that it was signed, as well as Iran deconstructed their nuclear facilities, and they gave 97% of their enriched uranium to Russia. And then when Donald Trump pulled us out of the agreement, that was essentially him giving them the green light to continue the advancement of nuclear technology in the region. So this would mean that you'd say that Donald Trump should be impeached because he gave them the green light to further their construction of nukes.
Now, here's my question, because I'm not saying
no. I don't want a question. I want a response.
I'm just asking, like, why I'm trying to say, like, maybe you're right. Like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just more curious of, like, if what you're saying is true, then. Because, I mean, it is kind of an agreeable thing. Like, if that is true, then why am I not hearing about it? How about that? Why haven't I seen that? Why haven't I heard about it? Why is nobody else talking about that? That Trump's technically the reason why they were building to begin with.
Yeah, fucking beats me.
Does that make sense, though? I haven't seen that. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Beats me, right? Like, beats me. I wish more people would talk about it, and I think that more people will. I mean, like right now, I'm like planning to film and construct a video, kind of going over how we've gotten to where we are today. But I would say that people are talking about this. Dylan Page put out a video about this like 7 hours ago, and it has like 1 million likes already. People are talking about this.
Well, here's because like I said, I'm fixing to have to go. But here's like the main answer.
No. I just want an answer. Does this mean that you think that Trump should be impeached because he gave them the green light to further their development of nuclear technology?
I mean, you're trying to make me say yes, but I want to say no. Right. You know what I mean? Because I'm being honest. Because that's tech.
Appreciate you for that. We're going to move on to the next guest. I appreciate you for like recognizing your hypocrisy, but still yet, like, it's just, I've been dealing with hypocritical people all day, getting a little bit fed up at this point. I'm not going to lie. So we are going to move on at this point. I do apologize. I understand that a lot of people don't like it when I do that, but unfortunately it is something that we are going to go ahead and do today. If you want to come up and you want to have a conversation with me, make sure to let me know down below in that comment section. We'll get you pulled up. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I think that you're underage. We're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. We got Aaron loading up. And while we got Aaron loading up in Winnie, oh my God, Winnie, it's so good to have you in here with us today. Thank you for the $100 super chat over on the YouTube stream. Winnie, that is so incredibly kind of you. Winnie says, Maga, please Google and consider the free course from Harvard and Civics, the Constitution, etc. Let's have a common understanding of our own country. Pride in one's own ignorance is weird and unnecessary. Thank you, Dean, for your awesome service and patriotism. I appreciate you for the love, Winnie. Great message to all the Trump supporters in here. Seriously, take those courses. And also, thank you for the $100 super chat. For everybody watching, let's go ahead and get 1,000 Winnie W's spam down below in that chat. Seriously, Winnie, I really appreciate you for the love, and I hope that you're doing well. I would also like to thank Anonymous so much for the $15 over on PayPal, and Mel with the 10, and Iris with the 5. Shout out to Iris, Anonymous, and Mel. I really appreciate you guys so much for the love. I would also like to thank Francis. Thank you so much for the $24 over on Venmo. Shout out to Francis down below in that chat saying convert this MAGA cult. It's just, I'm trying my best, Francis. Thank you for the $24. Show some love to Francis down below in that chat. Thank you, Francis. And Rachel, thank you so much for the $22 and the 22 cents. Huge shout out to Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel says, I really respect and appreciate what you do. You've shown how powerful truth-seeking can be, just planting a seed. And I'll check that out. Thank you so much for the love, Rachel. Shout out to you. As well as Kate, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo saying, thank you for doing what you do. You're really out here making a difference. Much love, Dean. Much love to you as well, Kate. And thank you so much for your kindness. You guys are being so incredibly kind today. Thank you so much. And what is up, Aaron and Have?
I have a question. Did you ban Cookie King?
No, that was Nick Fuentes. Hey, Vok, what's up? Do you support Trump? All right, they're not here, so we're going to move on to the next guest, Christina. If you're watching and you support Trump and you'd like to come up and debate, let me know. Get you pulled up here. Then also, once again, if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, my Venmo, my PayPal, in the link tree in my bio. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest here, everybody. Oh boy. Anyways, any new news on Iran? I think while we're getting this next guest loaded up in here, I'm gonna go and take a look at anything new that's popped up. So let's try to get that next guest loaded into the stream for another conversation. Everyone, give us a minute. We got Sadie loading in right now. Ethan, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Just saying, hey, Dean, just wanted to tell you that I appreciate what you do. Thank you, Ethan. What's going on, Sadie? You support Trump?
Hi, Dean. I'm so sorry. I don't support Trump, but
I am sorry. We are just looking to talk to Trump supporters, so I am going to kick you, but thank you for coming up. As well as Karian, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, saying you're a new generation of education, and I'm here for it. Please take care of your mental health because we need you. Honestly, I've kind of figured out how to manage my mental health. It took a while to get right, but I think I have gotten it right. So thank you so much for the $10, Karian. That is incredibly kind. As well as Holly, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you, Holly. Huge shout out to Holly down below in that chat. Holly says, give us 1 minute to get the next guest loaded in. Holly says, keep doing what you do and cut through one cultist at a time. Holly, that is incredibly kind. Huge shout out to Holly. As well as Amanda with the $10 saying, I love you, Dean. I watch you every day and it really helps me. Well, I love you too, Amanda. Thank you for the $10 donation and the very kind message. What's going on, Alfie? Do you support Trump?
I can't lie, mate. I'm British, but I fully do support him. I think.
Boop. Get the fuck out of here. Moving on. How about this? If you're watching and you want to come up and debate, let me know down below in that comment section by dropping a MAGA accompanied by your age. We'll get you pulled up here. Kara, what's up? You support Trump?
No, but my entire family does.
Feel free to request when you're with your entire family. I'd love to chat. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. Audrey, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Huge shout out to you down below in that chat. Thank you, Audrey. Incredibly kind, incredibly kind. Okay, welcome back.
Oh, hi. Hello.
How old are you?
40.
Okay, moving on. Everyone just give us a minute. We got Joseph loading up into the box. Nobody seems to want to chat. Unfortunately, nobody really seems to want to chat at all. Amy, thank you for the $25 donation over on Venmo saying, keep up the fight. Amy, thank you. Thank you so much for the love. Let's get 200 Amy W's down below in that chat. While we get that next guest loaded in here, once again, it is very, very difficult for us to find a single Trump supporter that is willing and ready to come up here and debate. What's up, Colin? How old are you? And Colin left. What about Caden? Nikolai, what's up? You support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Me, 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
I'll hop back in that queue, man, because it wasn't showing you on the live, unfortunately. All right, how about this? It is so hard to find guests. It is so hard to find guests. Is there any Trump supporters that want to step up real quick? Like if you're a Trump supporter, just let me know in the chat by dropping a MAGA accompanied with your age. Sophie, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, and thank you for the suggestions related to my insomnia. I appreciate that. Show some love to Sophie. Hello, Ethan. You said that you're a 21-year-old Trump supporter.
How are we doing, Dean?
What year are you born?
Yes, I was born 2003.
Okay, what month?
October.
Great, Ethan. Tell us, how the hell can you still support Trump?
So there's a few things. For me, like personally, I'm more or less blurred in between the lines a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm very right wing. I'm not very left wing. Anything. I'm just pretty in the middle. But at the moment, I do support Trump. The reason for that is pretty much just through the peace through strength idea. I do like that. I like the idea of putting America first. Bringing a lot of jobs back to America. Like I said, I know a lot of this stuff has like.
So, can you be more specific? So you said peace through strength. War's not peaceful, so he's already violated that.
I see what you mean, like 100%. But I think it's just like a thing in the future, right? So, if we're hitting these strikes now, I feel like it deters almost an attack later in the future.
That's not true. Just in 12 minutes ago, the Iranian militias begin to prepare striking American bases.
Well, then I do stand corrected on that.
Wrong! Whoopsie! They're prepping as we speak to strike American bases. So you're wrong.
You are correct, and like I said, I'm not here to like be disrespectful or like argue with you. I do want to talk because I do think it is important.
Okay, so I just want to clarify that he's not upholding peace through strength because he's starting war, right?
Okay, I do see what you mean there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I
so
do.
Then why do you support a warmonger?
What do you mean by that?
Somebody that wants war.
I wouldn't say he necessarily wants it. I don't think anybody wants war.
If he didn't want war, why did he start war? Unprovoked. In a position where we wouldn't have looked weak if we didn't. In a position where we had no obligation to. Where we weren't responding to any attack or threat from them. Where we just simply started it to help Israel. If he'd done it to want war, how come he started this this war?
Well, you keep saying war, but Congress actually has to form a declaration of war, which hasn't happened yet. So technically right now it's just a conflict in the Middle East on our part. But I do see where you're coming from.
I call it war because we said that we have control of their airspace. We said that we could kill their supreme leader. We know where he is. We just haven't yet. We've bombed their facilities. They're preparing militant counterattacks against American military bases. They've already approved shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, in which will restrict 20% of the daily global oil production, and which will hurt American consumers. That is war. Man. And just because there's not a declaration of war, it doesn't mean that that's true. That is an act of war. Those are all acts of war. We are at war.
I'm saying like definition, like speaking purely on definitions. I do see where you're coming from though with
So why do you support him?
You're like I said, my whole thing is just putting America first, making sure that we have, we're treating our own civilians with the utmost respect, putting them first.
It does not put Americans first as going to war with Iran because they've already approved the shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz, which will make Americans pay significantly more for gas and for every product. How is causing so much inflation by restricting 20% of the daily global oil production, putting American citizens first?
Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
That's putting Israel first. That's not putting Americans. This doesn't benefit America. This doesn't benefit American citizens. It benefits Israel. So Donald Trump is Israel first, America last. Okay, and if the war he started doesn't prove it, it's insane. Because seriously, think about it. Okay, starting a war with Iran definitely benefits Israel. It gives them more firepower. It gives them an ally in the fight. It gives them somebody else to fight alongside them. It benefits Israel. Okay, but what does it do to America? Okay, it scares the shit out of Americans. Okay, fear-mongering to all hell, causes anxiety, it causes stress, and I mean, that's just like the psychosocial response. What about the fiscal response? Like I've pointed out, them shutting down that strait, causing gas to cost on average from like $5 to $7 a gallon, completely just destroying the American stock market, making everybody pay more for everything. Like, you cannot say that's him putting America first.
I understand where you're coming from. Like I said, this is, as you know, I'm only 21, so I'm still trying to learn all this, with
You're older than me.
I know, but you also have made a career off of this. You go to conventions and stuff like that. I don't. So I am your typical American. You aren't.
Right.
That's how it works.
Right.
I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm having to put in the work. You're sitting here on a TikTok live making money from it, which is fine, but you cannot have the same perspective at any point.
Well,
would you be able to agree, at least in like that aspect?
The reason why I do these streams is because I can agree that the average American obviously isn't going to be informed as much as like somebody that's in the trenches. Okay, like that is obviously true. I'm gonna ignore like the weird diss there, but anyways, it is obviously true that
it wasn't meant
significantly
to be
like more informed than the average American, and that's why I do these lives. I'm doing this to inform you, right? Like, because you said that you support Trump because he places America first. Well, hopefully I just informed you that that's actually not true, and he places America last. But now that you have that information at your disposal, now that you know these facts, do you still think that he's a good president that puts his country first?
After your explanation of it, I think I can agree with you on that aspect. I think I can.
Okay, so why do you support Trump even if he does not put this country and this country's citizens first?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, why do you support Trump even though he doesn't place his country and the people of this country first?
Oh, sorry. So another big thing for me is strong borders and in order. So that is something that I definitely agree with. Faith and
yes.
religion and stuff like that. That isn't.
So it doesn't matter if we restart a war that is going to cost thousands of American lives, trillions of dollars. It doesn't matter if it's going to increase the price of gas to $5 to $7 a gallon. It doesn't matter if it's going to cause inflation in America. It doesn't matter if it's going to scare the shit out of Americans. It doesn't matter if we start tariffing other countries, which disproportionately negatively impacts low-income Americans. It doesn't matter if we accept economic policy in which costs trillions of dollars and reduces the after-tax income of 80% of income earners in this country. As long as we're kicking the illegals out, it all makes sense, and he's a great president. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
Again, I do see where you are coming from. When I look at it, like I said, me and I'm not Trump, so he may be thinking of it in a racial way, but I'm not. If that kind of makes sense, like I don't have a problem with people coming into the country at all. It's just doing it the right way. I'm a first generation immigrant, so I know the hardship of coming into the country.
So I just want to clarify that mass deportation trumps every negative that we just pointed out. Mass deportation trumps it.
That's what you think?
I'm asking you if that's what you think.
No.
Okay, so then you don't support Trump?
That's why like I tried to kind of begin the conversation with, I'm not super right wing, I'm not super left wing, I'm pretty in the middle. That's why I'm here, because I want to be informed more on stuff that I don't know about. So that's
okay. Well, actually, if you want my take on mass deportation, I posted a video that's 5.5 minutes long. It's going to be on my main account, and it's going to be about 7 videos down. I would highly recommend you go take a look and watch it. I think that could be a great service to you. Insofar as your knowledge, I think that's probably the best thing for you to do right now, so I don't have to like re-explain it. Just please go watch that video. It'll be very much so worth your time. We are going to move on to the next guest. Sophie, let's see. Blake, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo 7 minutes ago. And Rose, thank you so much for the 15. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love, Rose. Can we please show some love to Rose down below in that chat for the $15 donation over on Venmo while we are getting this next guest loaded up into the box, everybody. Please show some love to Rose down below in that chat, everybody. But let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box. Let's see, where are we at here? Felicity, thank you for the $11 over on PayPal. And Sasha, thank you for the 10. Guys, please show some love to Felicity and Sasha down below in that chat for the $10 each, as well as Topaz with a 5, Audrey with a 10, Hazel with a 6, and Mark with a 5. Thank you all so much, very much for the love. So much, very much. Jesus, I'm losing it. What is going on? Oh, looks like Carson didn't load in, so we got to kick him and move on to the next guest. Dude, if you're watching this live and you support Trump, I'd love for a conversation to unfold. Love for you to come up here and have a conversation. If you're watching, you like what I do, and you want to support my work, my Venmo, my PayPal can be found in the link tree in my bio, y'all. But let's go get that next guest up on the live at this point in time. We're gonna get them loaded in right now, everybody. I'm kind of getting tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really tired today. Maybe I'll end my live a little bit early. I don't know. I'm abnormally tired. I'm much more tired right now, 3 hours and 15 minutes into my stream than I usually am. I'm gonna try to hit the 4-hour mark. I'm just abnormally tired. I think I've just been like overworking myself recently. But it's something it's necessary for me to do in a time such as the ones that we are in. That's my obligation to you guys. It's what I want to do with my life, is to help keep people informed and to try to make this world better in the ways I can. So, what's going on? Do you support Trump, Vinny?
What's up, Dean? I do support Trump.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20. What year were you born in?
2004.
What month?
October 5th, 2004.
Great, that make you 20. Real quick here before we hop into the debate, I have to thank Ali. Thank you so much for the $40 donation over on Venmo. Ali, that is so kind of you. Ali says, I was in middle school when Bush put us into war. An older friend of mine recently said it feels like high school all over again. When does the death and war end? I feel like history is just simply repeating itself. Oh, definitely. As it relates to war in the Middle East, history is definitely repeating itself. You are spot on, Ali. I want to see 400 Ali W's down below in that comment section. And seriously, thank you so much for your incredibly kind, incredibly generous $40 donation. I'd also like to thank Z for the $5 over on PayPal and Alessandra for the 10. Thank you guys so much. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I support him for a couple of reasons, but the first one, I'd say I really like what he's doing with RFK and with the Make America Healthy Again Act.
He's not. He's going to make America less healthy, significantly less healthy.
You think RFK is making him less healthy?
Oh, I think that the administration as a whole is absolutely going to make America less healthy, and yes, RFK
Why?
as well. Yeah, for sure, because he's like quadruple whamming low-income Americans by implementing tariffs that makes the essentials to live more expensive, by starting war with Iran, already approving the shutdown of the strait they control that will make everything significantly more expensive. Global inflation is imminent. By supporting the BBB economic policy that will cut the after-tax income of the bottom 20% of income earners in this country by $2,200 per year, meaning they have less purchasing power.
RFK is more focused on like food based and like where you put it.
Right, but don't worry, I'm getting there because I'm basically just showing you how low income and middle income Americans are getting like quadruple fucking whammied from every single direction in ways that are going to make their life worse. And the thing is, when the average
does one avoid a tariff?
When the average American and low-income Americans have less money at their disposal to spend, as it relates to maintaining a high level of health, A, they're going to have to buy less healthy foods because the more healthy a food is, typically the more that it costs. B, they're going to have to place more of their money towards what they need to survive right now compared to like better forms of healthcare or alternative healthcare. I mean, like the fact of the matter is, the more money you make, the longer your life expectancy is. And because Donald Trump is making low-income Americans make less money and spend more money, it's going to reduce like the average quality of life as well as the average lifespan, meaning that he's making America less healthy.
The average American, you said that healthier food is more expensive, but you said the average American spends $36 a day on food. 24 for that, about 24 of those dollars are fast food, and 12 of those dollars at the grocery store. And I know, and you know too, that the food at the grocery store is less processed. It's less likely to harm your body than fast food is.
Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand how this responds to anything I said.
You said
he's making America less healthy by making the material conditions for members of the low and the middle class worse.
Like, see, I still don't understand why healthier food would be more expensive. It's really not if you think about it. It's not.
Okay. All right, then tell me why I go to Sprouts, I have to spend fucking $12 on a mango that's apparently organic and healthier for me than the $1 alternative.
You don't have to get organic. You don't have to get organic.
Than the $1 alternative at City Market.
I mean, what's wrong with the $1 mango?
That was just an example, everybody. So yeah, like the less processed food is, typically the more it costs. That is true. But I think maybe like what I'd like rather hone in
Way
on.
cheaper than fast food.
I think like the main point that I want to hone in on here is that the less money you have, the less healthy you are on average, right?
Less, I don't mean probably, I guess.
All right. The less money you have, the less access you have to resources to make you healthier, right?
I think a lot of it is lifestyle.
Can you just answer my question?
Like, are you talking like mass, like
The
America?
the less money you have, the less access to healthcare resources you have.
I don't think it matters. I mean, to an extent, I don't think it matters how much money you have to be healthy.
Okay, well, so then how come we see a direct one-to-one positive correlation between annual income and life expectancy?
Correlation, not a causation. It's a correlation, not a causation.
So why does that correlation persist?
People's lifestyle in like poor areas.
So you're basically saying that the less money you make, the worse lifestyle you have, which causes you to have a lower life expectancy on average?
Generally, yeah. Would you agree with that?
Well, I do, but the reason why the lifestyle can be worse is because it costs money to have a better lifestyle, right? Like, think about it, right? When you don't have that much money to spend, you're going to be focused on your immediate needs, okay? You're not going to be focused on what is required to serve you a more healthier lifestyle in the long term, such as paying for a gym membership, such as having access to private pharmaceuticals in which are best fit for you and your needs, private trainers, having dietitians, having therapists, having, like private health resources in which are best designed
You don't need any of that to be healthy.
So then why do we see longer life expectancies the more money one makes?
It's a lifestyle thing.
And I just explained how that lifestyle is correlated to the resources in which you have to spend on a lifestyle. A healthy lifestyle is expensive, okay? And what I mean by healthy there is just what's going to maximize quality of life and length of life.
I don't think a healthy lifestyle is expensive.
Okay, yeah. So therapists, they're not free. Mental health resources aren't free. Like private healthcare resources that are quick, efficient, and good for you aren't free. And once again, this is why we see the less money you make, the shorter your life expectancy is. This is just an incredibly a take.
You don't need a gym
anti-intellectual. This is, but
you don't need money to buy good food.
Having a gym membership makes it easier to be healthier.
I mean,
do
you have a floor?
Can we agree that having a gym membership makes it easier to be healthier?
I mean, you can work out without a gym membership.
So you're either going to answer my question or I'm going to kick you off because you're a dense little fuck that won't engage with a single thing that I'm saying because I'm proving you wrong.
I'm not mad.
Well, I am pissed because you're not engaging with anything that I'm saying. I've been on live for 3 hours and 20 minutes talking to the most dense, hard-headed twerps on this planet. Okay? And dude, I honestly, anybody in my shoes would be losing it right now if you had to sit on this live and talk to the most dense twerps alive. Like, why am I having to convince you that having a gym membership makes it easier to live a healthier lifestyle? Like, the fact that I'm having to convince somebody of that is driving me insane. So can we agree that having a gym membership, can we agree that having a gym membership and access to therapists, access to dietitians are all things that make a healthier lifestyle easier?
Having a gym membership makes it easier to go to the gym.
You're still not answering my question. Is having access to a gym membership, is having access to healthier organic foods, which cost more on average, is having access to dietitians, is having access to a therapist, is having access to private healthcare resources, or healthcare resources as all, are these all things that make it easier to live a healthier lifestyle?
I mean, I guess, yeah, but you don't need to do that to be.
So in other words, what it means is that the more money you have, the easier it is to live a healthy lifestyle, correct?
I mean, I don't make very much money and I'm pretty healthy.
You're not answering my question because I'm not asking you, is there anybody that makes little money that lives an incredibly healthy lifestyle? Because remember, we're talking on the macro scale of what is going to be the average when we look at millions and millions and millions of people. And when we look at a country with millions and millions and millions of people, the conversation shifts away from saying, oh, if you put your mind to it, you could get it done, to saying, well, what can we do to make it easier to get it done? Because if we make it easier, then ultimately more people will get it done. Okay, right? You're not going to win and make people in this country more healthy by virtue signaling about how you could do push-ups on a fucking mat in a back alley and eat your way into a healthy lifestyle and somehow get access to therapists, gym memberships, and private forms of healthcare that make your life easier. No, like we're going to be talking about reducing the barriers to a healthier lifestyle, because at the end of the day, that is the only thing that will certainly make lifestyles more healthy on average. So now that we've agreed that access to all of these resources that cost money or more on average make it easier to live a healthy lifestyle, all that we're saying is that the more money you have, the less barriers there are to a healthy lifestyle, and which would therefore imply that the inverse of that is also true. The less money you have, the more barriers there are to a healthy lifestyle. So if Donald Trump is making people have less money, he's creating more barriers to a healthy lifestyle, and with more barriers comes more resistance, thereby less individuals will live a healthy lifestyle. That is an empirical fact that you can't refute by just saying, well, they could technically still do it. Well, they don't.
So are you anti-RFK then?
Respond to my argument right now.
Like, what was your question?
I didn't ask a question. I made a statement that I want you to either agree with or refute. That statement being, when you have less money, there's more barriers to a healthy lifestyle, meaning there's more resistance, meaning less people will do it, meaning less, and the average American will be less healthy on average.
Yeah, I mean, having more money would be easier to be healthy, I guess.
Okay, so then given you have less money, given that Donald Trump is passing economic policy in which is reducing after-tax income of 80% of Americans, removing social safety nets, and making it harder to live by spending more, the average American is going to be less healthy.
I mean, it's not all a money thing, though.
You're not responding to what I said.
You think you have to have money to be healthy, which isn't true.
I'm saying that the less money you have, the more barriers there are to being healthy. You dense POS that cannot understand nor comprehend the most basic arguments ever. Like, would you say that everything to be successful starts with having a lot of money 100% of the time necessarily? Like in order to scale and be a top 20% income earner, be a top 1% income earner, would you say it is always true that you need to have a lot of money to get it done in the first place? It is always true in every single scenario.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Well, I was expecting a no, all right? Because then I was going to say, well, it's not always true. Because, think about the one story of that one person that grew up homeless and then was able to meet it through conjunction, education, preparation, and pure fucking luck to be successful, meaning that it isn't always true that you must have money to be successful, right? Well, that doesn't change the fact that generational wealth or the lack thereof are barriers to future success. And the more barriers there are, the less people there will be that achieve it. That's all that I'm saying. Okay, right? Having less money creates a barrier to health, meaning the less money you have, the less likely you are to be healthy. So on average, when we're talking about a country with 300 million people in it, the worse off the constituents are, fiscally speaking, the less healthy they are going to be, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I would agree
so
with
then
that,
thereby Donald Trump is making the average American less healthy by making the average American worse off.
I mean, first of all, it's gonna be hard to make everybody healthy by.
And I know either affirm or deny that conclusion.
I mean, in that instance, I guess, yeah.
Okay, but so then you just conceded that Donald Trump is making. So Vinny, you just conceded.
Kind of a stretch to health.
Vinny, you just conceded that Donald Trump is making Americans less healthy on average.
I think every president done that. If you can say that about any president.
But you literally said you support him because he's making America more healthy. Oh my God, you have no spine. What the hell is this shit? You come up here, you tell me you support Trump because he's making Americans healthier. I convince you that you're wrong, and then you say, well, that's something that all presidents do.
Well, I mean,
fucking hell, dude, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm 3 hours and 30 minutes into it. I can't take it. Oh my God. Okay, I'm starting to lose my shit. I'm starting to get outrageously flustered because of these brainless Trump supporters that just, they think they could build reality with their beliefs, and they're so dense and dead set in their ways, they can't be wrong no matter what. Okay, they can't be wrong no matter what. Even though they have no evidence to justify that what they believe in is true, and all of the evidence that exists would indicate that they're wrong, okay? And I had to repeat that to him a billion times. I needed to reframe the argument that having less money on average creates greater barriers to better health, meaning that when you make the average American worse off, there's more barriers to greater health, which makes the average American less healthy. I had to repeat that a billion different ways for him to finally say, I guess you're right, okay? And then what does he do? The moment he concedes and says that I'm right, he then says, well, that's true of every president. Okay? Right? Completely drawing and distracting away from the original reason why you joined the live, saying that he supports Trump because he's making because he's making Americans healthier. You know, it's just that shift of the goalposts at the very end of the conversation from saying that he supports Trump because he's making America healthier to now saying that he supports Trump because every president has made Americans less healthy. After 30 minutes of me just trying to demonstrate such a basic fact to him is astoundingly stupid. We're going to move on to the next guest. I'm going to try to keep my cool here, y'all. So everybody just give us a minute to get that next guest up in here. Oh, boy. All right, everybody. We're going to keep our cool. I'm sorry for crashing out there. I understand it's unprofessional. It's not a good look. That's just outrageously preposterous. What's going on, Starbucks? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Cool. Well, before we hop into a debate, I'd like to thank a handful of people here. First and foremost, M. Thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. That is EMM. Can we please get 200 EMMWs down below in that comment section? I really do appreciate you for the $20 donation, M. That is so incredibly kind. Show some love to M down below. As well as David. Thank you so much for the $100 donation over on PayPal. Let's get 1,000 David W's. David says, keep up the good work. David, I really appreciate you for that love, man. Show some love to David down below. Seriously, dude. Thank you. Show some love to David, as well as Jeremy with the $10. Thank you so much for the love, Jeremy. And Cheryl with the $30, saying, I think that we've reached the bottom of the MAGA crab barrel. All that is left are the ones that are unable to educate beyond the privilege that can't grasp reality. It's so disheartening, disgusting, and depressing to listen to their word salads. I completely agree. And I think I need to recognize that. You know, I need to stop, being surprised with incredibly dense guests, and I just need to be mentally prepared for it. If I'm gonna do these debates, I owe it to you guys to be able to keep my cool with these bottom of the barrel ideas, right? I owe that to you guys. That's right. So I appreciate you for the message, and I appreciate you for the $30 donation. Can we please get 300 Cheryl W's down below in that chat, accompanied by the 1,000 David W's for the incredibly kind $100 donation. I would also like to thank Lisa with the $50 donation over on Venmo. Lisa says, your incredible stamina and patience continue to do this work is incredibly inspiring. Keep up the good work, Dean. Love from a very proud Gen X mama. I appreciate you for that love, Lisa. Show some love to Lisa down below. As well as to Donna for the $25. Thank you so much for the love, Donna. And Daphne with the $25 as well. Shout out to Daphne and Donna. You guys are awesome. Shout out to Daphne and Donna and Lisa, as well as Kristen with the $15 over on Venmo, saying they don't care about health. They all attacked Michelle Obama when she wanted to make Americans healthy. Yeah, let's not forget about that. Show some love to the donors. I really do appreciate and thank you guys so much for the love. There's actually one more I got to thank here. Sid, thank you for the $50 over on Super Chat. Show some love to Sid. Sid says that they had to take a break from the lives for mental health purposes, and it came back just now. Lamel sounds like it was a bad day. It's been a pretty rough day. Show some love to Sid down below in that chat. And Starbucks, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
I want to touch on some points you mentioned in the last 30 minutes, I believe. First of all,
I prefer to talk about why you support Trump.
I support Trump for many reasons.
Okay, why?
First of all, closing the border. That's number one.
Okay.
I'd rather not speak about that. I think you touched it way too many times.
Okay.
Number two, he's confident and doesn't really get discouraged from during these hard times that we're going through. He, and other countries are scared of him.
I think that blind confidence is a really, really bad thing. I think that blind confidence is what has already sent us into war with Iran and will lead to worsened material conditions for Americans and individuals overseas. What I mean by that is he was blindly confident that he'd be able to bomb them and they'd shut the hell up and there'd be peace. But now we see that Iranian militant groups are already planning strategic counterattacks against American military bases, and they have approved shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, which will increase the prices of everything in America. So he was so blindly confident in his plan that he just simply didn't see how it could fail, be altered, or transgressed upon. And that blind confidence will lead to every single American suffering and many individuals suffering on the global stage.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Iran. I want to ask you a question. What would have you done differently?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was actually considering what my response to this question or what I would have done differently even before I started my live. So I think here's what I will say. I tried to give reliable and truthful answers and data to everybody that listens to my lives. So what I could say is that going into war with him was an incredibly terrible decision. So we could rule that one out. But about what the alternatives are, I think I'll leave those up to individuals, like the specifics up to individuals that are significantly more educated than I am on like global diplomacy and how we could like seek a resolution that doesn't lead to another endless war in the Middle East. But what I could say is that we definitely should have sought diplomacy over war.
You don't think?
And also, I think that we should have pressured Israel into backing off of Iran. We should have pressured Israel 110% into backing off of Iran.
How could you do such a thing? Have you watched the videos that come out of Iran? Like, do you know what's going on over there? Do you know that the second they produce a nuclear bomb, the first thing they'll do is just bomb the hell out of Israel? They wake up every morning, and that's all they say. They say that they want to bomb Israel and they want to bomb America.
Would you say, okay, so that'd be very bad if they got nukes, like really bad. They literally, you're saying that they would drop a nuke on America. So would you say if we had a president that gave them the green light on furthering their nuclear construction, that we should absolutely impeach that president because they basically green lit a nuke in America?
I see where you're going, and I don't agree with your statement that.
Could I just have a yes or no?
Gave them the green light. What?
Can I just have a yes or no? So you said the first thing they do if they got a nuke was they nuke America. So if we had a president that greenlit them to further construction of their nukes, even if the first thing they do with those nukes is nuke America, would you say that president should be impeached?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Donald Trump gave them that green light when he pulled out of the nuclear peace agreement that we had.
I want you to explain that. I want you to explain that.
Yeah, for sure. Because when we had that deal with them, they had no construction of nuclear weapons. We had 24/7 surveillance of all of their nuclear facilities. IAEA reported no infractions in the 5 years that the deal was active. They gave 97% of their enriched uranium to Russia, and they dismantled, what they had built to construct nuclear weapons, and the progression of nuclear weapons being built in the country stopped the moment they entered into that agreement. And the moment Donald Trump pulled us out of that agreement, they restarted their nuclear programs. And apparently, according to you, that meant Donald Trump would have thereby greenlit them constructing nukes, which you say would then be used to nuke America.
So I disagree with everything you stated. How do you have proof that Iran stopped producing nukes as soon as Trump pulled out of the deal?
Yeah, IAEA.
And do you know they were only able to check specific sites and they weren't able to check anything else, right?
So they had access to all their like specific enrichment sites, every single one, 24/7 surveillance. Every site in which could be used to enrich uranium was under 24/7 surveillance by IAEA.
Okay.
Every single one.
So you do agree now that Iran was able to produce it, we had no other choice but to bomb them, right?
Well, I disagree, but once again, you are now avoiding the question that I asked you. You said if we had a president that gave them the green light for them further constructing nukes.
I disagree. I think we were handing them. I think we were handing them handouts, and whether they were, they were going with the agreement and they weren't producing uranium to their likings, but the second that deal was over, they were, whether they're supplying it to Russia or not, they were producing uranium. So all they have to do is just stop supplying it to Russia, build a nuke, and they would just bomb the hell out of Israel and America, and we'd all be screwed.
So are you saying that they broke the agreement?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so then I'm confused of what your argument here is. Because they weren't constructing nukes when they were in the deal. They stopped all construction.
Wait, hold on. They weren't constructing uranium. You told me that they were supplying it to Russia.
No, so they gave 97% of all of the enriched uranium that they had acquired before they entered into the agreement to Russia, the moment we entered into the agreement. And by the way, that was a part of the agreement. So
So now you're telling me
when we
that
were
just
in the
shows
deal,
that the agreement was a terrible agreement, because all they had to do was stop supplying to Russia and build a nuke within a week, right?
So why was the deal a terrible agreement if it got them to stop
Because
the
they
further
were
enrichment
able
of
to
uranium, and it
produce
got them to
uranium.
deconstruct their facilities that they used to enrich the uranium, and all of the enrichment facilities that remained for energy resources were under 24/7 surveillance by the IAEA. You understand that this is an unprecedented agreement. There's never been an agreement of the likes with any state on earth at any point in history that gave third-party access to the nuclear facilities of a country, and it was completely unprecedented, and it was a great deal for that reason. So you understand that, right?
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Do you think that
Why did Trump pull us out of it?
It was a terrible deal.
Why was
We
it
were
bad?
supplying-
Why was it bad?
Why?
Because of the amount of money we were giving to Iran. That's why.
We weren't giving them
You
any
mean-
money.
you
we
mean
were just simply
limiting
unfreezing-
sanctions?
We limited sanctions and we unfreeze bank accounts on
We
that they
didn't
had with
give
South
Iran
Korea.
any money?
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. Yeah, we didn't. We unfroze their bank accounts in South Korea and we lifted their sanctions. So I want to clarify that you're basically saying that the deal did get them to stop constructing nukes, but that meant that we lifted sanctions and gave them back their own money. Okay. But on the flip side, if they weren't in the deal and they were constructing nukes like you think they are right now, that justifies going back into war in the Middle East. So which one is better? Lifting sanctions on Iran or going back into war in the Middle East? Which one is better? Because if you say lifting sanctions is better than going back into war in the Middle East, then you're saying that the deal was awesome because that's what the deal did.
I thought we currently went into the Middle East. I wasn't aware. We have troops in the Middle East right now.
Yeah, no, we're dropping. Well, we're in war with Iran, so that's why. I said
No,
going
we're
back
not
into
in
the Middle
war.
East. Yeah, we are.
That's not true.
Yeah,
No,
we
you
are.
just lied.
Well,
We're not in
well,
war. We just dropped the bomb.
We absolutely are in war, but we'll debate that after because this is a
What is-
currently
what is
reflection.
war?
Let me ask you
I
a
gave you
question.
no. I want you to respond to my question because you said the deal was bad. With the
Your whole
deal,
premise of-
we lift sanctions. Without the deal, they further the construction of nuclear weapons, and you think that justifies war. So it means either lifting sanctions or war. Which one is preferable? A lifting of sanctions or war?
I could tell you. I could answer your question.
Then do it.
But I think the premise of your question doesn't make sense because your premise of the question is that we're going into war with Iran. That is not happening. We just dropped a bomb in Iran. Trump threatened them, and your whole assumption is that we're going to go into war.
The war already started. So here's everything that has happened. We said that we had complete control of their airspace. We said we know where their supreme leader is. We could kill him, but we're not going to do it yet. We dropped bombs on 4 of their nuclear enrichment facilities. Donald Trump today said that we wanted a regime change to make Iran great again. Iranian militant groups affirmed less than 30 minutes ago that they're already planning strategic counterattacks on U.S. military bases in the region. They've already launched counterattacks because of U.S. strikes on Israel. They've approved shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, and which will restrict 20% of the daily oil consumption on the global stage. This is war, 110%.
Okay.
And I feel like that becomes inevitably clear when we replace the country of Iran with a country of Russia. My question to you is, if Trump said that we control all of Russian airspace, we know exactly where Putin is, we could kill him, but we're not going to do it yet. We drop bombs on Russian facilities in their countries. Then Russia responded by planning strategic counterattacks against U.S. military bases in the region. Russia also responded by shutting down a strait that they control, in which now has limited us from 20% of the global oil supply per day, as well as they launched counterattacks against our allies. Would you consider that war?
Again, your questions don't make sense. Russia is a powerful country. Iran we can erase in 1 minute. It's not. We have no reason to go into war.
Oh, so you're saying
isn't that exactly what neocons said in the early 2000s with the context of the Middle East, where they put us into a decades-long war, right? That literally costed trillions of dollars and thousands of American lives, along with like hundreds of thousands of people that live in the Middle East, millions of people that live in the Middle East, innocent lives that were lost.
And then also, I just want to be able to point out here really, really quickly that you just said if everything that is true of the current conflict with Iran was true of Russian involvement with America, it would be war. But just because it's not Russia and it is Iran, then it's not.
No, that's not what
war.
I said.
Thereby, you're completely special plein, and you're trying to make this scapegoat anti-intellectual position just to justify that it's not war, even though you accept that all of the actions in which have been made by our own country towards Iran and the actions that Iran has made back towards our own country do totally amount to war if it was framed outside of Iran in any other country.
Okay, I'm gonna put it out there like this. I think let's veer off the subject for a little bit. If a country wakes up in the morning every day and their whole, the basis of their government, that's all they do is say, we want to wipe America off the map and we want to wipe Israel off the map. And I think if you were the president, you wouldn't allow them to produce. You wouldn't allow them to produce uranium.
So you concede it's war. Thank you. Now you're just arguing that the war is justified.
What?
So you conceded that it's war.
By the way, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. By the way, I never answered that question.
So you pivoted away?
No, I didn't
Wait,
pivot
so
away.
what's war? What's war, Starbucks?
War is when both countries are attacking each other.
Okay. All right. Well, I would consider the approval of the Iranian parliament shutting down the Strait of Hormuz as an attack against America and Western countries. Right? I would consider the already approved plans from Iranian militant groups to attack U.S. military bases in the region as an attack against America.
Let me ask you a question. If there were 10 people in Russia that decided that they hate America and they want to destroy America, and they attacked America, they planted a bomb and they blew up something in America, is that war?
Yeah, if it was part of their government. Yep.
Oh, okay. I think it's one attack after the next, not necessarily.
Wait, I'm sorry. If Russia did this to the United States, if Russia dropped bombs on nuclear enrichment facilities that the government operated within the United States, would you consider that war?
Boom. Good one.
I wouldn't
That's
consider
exactly what I was going to ask earlier.
until America attacks back. I think one attack doesn't.
Wait. So you wouldn't say that that would mean war? Wait. If that happened, would that mean war?
If what happened?
If Russia bombed in the United States nuclear enrichment facilities operated by the government.
I think within 10 minutes of that happening.
Wait. Was Pearl Harbor? Did Pearl Harbor? Was that Japan starting war with America?
Okay. A day after the attack. The hour after attack, no, we weren't at war. We were at war once we had.
Oh, got it. So
come on, I think you could say that meant war.
So when Japan did Pearl Harbor, did that mean war?
When Japan attacked, how long after? When the Congress
the moment when it happened, the moment when Pearl Harbor occurred, did that mean war?
The moment they bombed the the Pearl Harbor,
did that mean war?
No, not a minute after.
Nobody, okay, yeah, you just pissed every single true American patriot conservative in here the hell off.
It could have been an hour after we're
okay, but no, but like war. Okay, here, let me be clear. Let me be clear. We know that war is going to happen as a result of that.
Okay, that's
attack,
a different story.
Correct?
Okay, so you
okay. Well, at least you can. No. I'm saying this under your own perspective. This is how you're using the term. If you at least say that, will you agree that the conditions that Trump struck Iran, right, are saying that we're going to likely lead to war with them?
That I can agree on.
Okay, so it's leading towards war under your position. You just don't think it's war yet.
Correct.
Okay, do you think it's going to be a war?
No.
Okay, well you just.
Bro,
didn't you contradict yourself according to the
Language
of Pearl Harbor?
Wait. The Iranian government and Iranian militant groups have already.
Iran is not a powerful country. We can wipe them out in 2 minutes. It's not war.
You're already off base. As of 30 minutes ago, Iranian militant groups approved plans for attacks on U.S. military bases.
Okay, very nice.
So that means that war is coming.
No, because I don't think Iran's threats are actual threats.
So you just don't think that they mean it?
No, I think they mean it. I think that.
So if they mean it, then it's an actual threat. Yeah.
Okay.
What makes you think that the threats aren't valid?
No, he just said that they were valid because he said that they mean it.
They could mean it.
Okay,
so they are valid.
That means war's imminent.
No, it's not for us.
What is this guy saying?
So we hit them.
Who struck the nuclear enrichment facilities?
So we bomb them, then they bomb our U.S. military bases. Is that war?
Why are we arguing about this?
Is that war? No, answer. Is that war?
If they actually bomb us and they're successful in bombing our troops, then yeah, it's war.
Okay, well they approved those. They approved the bombing.
Okay, so let's see that happen.
So would you say that war is imminent?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen.
This guy is delusional. You're just like literally denying reality.
Yeah.
He literally laid it up for you.
Yeah.
He put it right in front of you. He's like, dude, this is reality. And you're like,
okay, fine.
No!
Okay, let's say it's war. Well, what's the point? What are you trying to make?
Why? So you do support him? You support him taking us to war?
He's not taking us to war. I told you that.
What? Dude, what's this guy saying? So is war imminent?
War is imminent, and guess what? Would this war be imminent if Donald Trump did not make the decision to bomb Iran?
I think that if Trump didn't make his decision, America could have been nuked.
Okay, yeah. You could fearmonger in a bit. We're just asking you, would this war have been imminent if he didn't decide to bomb Iran? Would they have already approved plans to strike U.S. military bases if we didn't strike their locations yesterday?
Probably not.
Okay, so then yeah, he is sending us into war.
Trump doesn't have a one-day projective. You know, he's projecting Iran to nuke America within a couple years.
Oh my goodness! So then agree that you think Donald Trump is sending us into war. You just think it's a good.
I don't think he's sending us into war. I think.
Wait, I got something.
Yeah,
right here.
go ahead.
Here, I have a tweet from Donald Trump. I will be giving an address to the nation at 10 p.m. at the White House regarding our very successful military operation in Iran. This historic moment for the United States of America, Israel, and the world. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you.
He's probably talking about the war.
That's 22 hours ago. 22 hours ago. He called it a fucking war.
Which war is he talking about? He's not.
What do you mean? What war is he talking about? He's talking about Iran.
Right.
Oh my God.
You guys are so stupid. There's a war going on between Iran and Israel.
Why do you say this is a historic moment for the United States of America, Israel?
He wants the United States and America.
Wait, I have a question.
What's the deal?
When did the war start between Israel and Iran?
I thought you were all excited.
When did the war start between Israel and Iran?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
When did the war start between Israel and Iran?
Many years ago. I mean, Iran used to. Honestly, I don't know.
Okay. All right, man. Listen, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you just look nuts. Listen, dude, we dropped bombs on their country, and now they're saying that they want to drop bombs on our military bases.
Do we go to war with ISIS?
Okay. Oh my God. Did we go to war with ISIS? Are you referring to like Iraq and Afghanistan?
No, I'm talking about the terrorist group. Did we go to war with them?
Yeah, actually, we did.
Okay.
Right? Isn't that even something that Donald Trump acknowledged, that he like ended the war with ISIS?
Yeah, he also said that there's his own self-proclaimed war on ISIS.
Yeah. The response would be yeah.
Dude, this guy, like, dude, literally, if Trump calls it a war, you denying it as a war is really fucking funny.
They're just that fucking delusional, Parker. They're that fucking delusional. So for everybody watching the stream, right, y'all need to catch Parker up with how badly I've been crashing out today because of how absolutely delulu these guests have been. It's been all day the most dense, the most delulu guest we've ever had. But real quick, Sarah, thank you so much for the 100 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Let's get 1,000 Sarah W's down below. Sarah says these baseless, unintelligent MAGA arguments are mind-boggling. Thank you, Dean, for fighting to educate the American people, watching this American tragedy with much concern and love from Canada. Sarah, Thank you so much for your kindness. That is mind-bogglingly kind. Thank you so much for your love. As well as, let's see here, EMM, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal, saying, here's a little more for all the effort you put into keeping America educated. We see you and appreciate you. That is so incredibly kind. Let's get 200 MWs down below in that chat. I'd also like to show some love to Addison for the $15 over on PayPal, saying, thank you for your intellectual honesty. Your political views are refreshing, and you've converted me away from MAGA. Yo, let's go! Dude, that is sweet, Addison. Fuck yes, brother. And oh my God, I didn't even see this until right now. I really, really hope that you're still in here. Ryan with the $200 donation over on Venmo. I want to see 2,000 Ryan W's down below in the chat. That is seriously insane, dude. That is so much goddamn money. Ryan, if you're in here, I love you. Thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity. I want to see 2,000 Ryan W's down below in those live chats right now. That is seriously, seriously, seriously so incredibly kind of you. Huge shout out to Ryan down below. Oh my God. As well as Kelly, Kelli, 20 minutes ago, the $20 donation, saying, I would never have the patience to do what you do. Keep it up. It's really hard at times, but Kelly, let me tell you, I really appreciate you for the love. Show some love to Kelly down below. And then Rachel with no message, but the $20 donation over on Venmo. Show some love to Rachel, Kelly, and fucking Ryan for the $200 donation. As well as Cindy, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. And Adam, thank you for the 15. Shout out to Cindy and Adam. You guys are awesome. I would also, one more here. Thank you, Julia, for the $20 over on Venmo. Let's get 200 Julia W's. Julia says, Dean, I love you, but it's pronounced nuclear, not nuclear. Nuclear? Now I'm fucking myself up. Not nuclear? How's
Hold
it
up.
supposed
This
to be pronounced?
person
I
just
don't
said
even
that
know.
nobody's sending you money, Dean. Whitney just said no one's sending you money.
Whitney, don't piss me off.
Hello? Nobody's sending you money. No way.
What are you talking about? Well, I just got Dale. Thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Someone actually said that not all facts are true. That's crazy. Joy, thank you for the $5. Mary with the $10. Samantha with the $10. Eve with the $5, and Sid with the $100 on YouTube super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sid. I really appreciate lots of love for you as well. Raz, thank you for the $5 Australian. Thank you so much. Samantha, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Carla, thank you for the $5, and J Dubs with the $10. Thank you so much. Are those all fake too?
Do you?
Wait, hold on. Guys, I still have a question. You guys didn't answer. I just have one question. Do you believe that?
I think they're lagging, but they're saying that their donations are fake is crazy, bro. They have one barman.
Hello?
Hello? Go ahead. Ask your question.
Do you think Iran should have the capabilities of building a nuclear bomb?
We don't agree. We agree with global denuclearization, but like in terms of,
I'd like to
Hey, wait!
clarify.
If someone violated, those
I
agreements,
actually would like to say, like, I really don't think that Iran should have nukes. Like,
Okay.
I actually do agree. Like, their government, dude, they suck. They're definitely their regime is terrible.
Yeah,
Very,
at least
very
we're on the same page. Parker, do you agree with that?
Yeah, Whitney, we're just saying that we don't have to, in order to be able to limit them from getting nuclear weapons, utilize weapons of war specifically, right? That would then bring us into a conflict in the long run. Like we had an agreement. We had an agreement. Hold up. We had an agreement previously that limited this from happening, and Donald Trump pulled us out of that agreement.
Okay, well, now that the agreement is broken, we could talk about that a different time. But if they violated the new agreement, or if
thank you for the $10.
If we started building
for the fake
nuclear
money.
bombs and there is no agreement in place.
Okay, where's the child? What's going on?
Do
Why
you
is there so
think-
much
do you think we
noise?
should bomb
I'm a little bit overstimulated right now.
Okay.
The fuck is
Wait to
going
avoid the question.
I'm sorry. No, repeat your question. There's just a lot.
You had you sounded like you were in a hurricane, and then also there was a child in the background that we heard.
There's a lot going on right now.
Okay, my question is like this. You guys are ready?
Mm.
If there was an agreement in place or there was no agreement in place, it doesn't really make a difference. But if Iran we had specific evidence of them building nuclear weapons,
Right.
do you think we should have bombed them?
No. So the reason why I think that bombing them was a bad idea, as it relates.
Wait,
to
no,
the
I'm not
threat of
talking
them
about that.
having
I'm
nukes.
asking hypothetical. I'm talking about if we had evidence.
Wait.
If we had evidence.
Your hypothetical was reality.
It's true. So we did have evidence. At least you're admitting it, right?
Well, like we had evidence that like levels of nuclear enrichment have gone up since the
Right.
agreement
So they
ceased
were
to
building a
exist.
nuclear bomb. So
like
do you agree that Iran should?
So can you
Before you
let
tell
me
me
can
that
you
Iran
let me answer your question?
Okay, I'm just doing what you do.
Fucking hell. Oh, you're just doing what I do. Oh, you're just doing what I do. So you don't want me to answer your question, and you think that I don't want you to answer? Oh my God. You know, let me tell you a little something, Starbucks. I fucking hate it when people come onto this stream and they do this vigilante bullshit where you grossly misrepresent what I do, what I'm about on these lives, and the way in which I orchestrate myself and hold these conversations, and then you try to justify it. Like what it shows is that you just don't want to have a conversation. It's super childish and it's super anti-productive. But anyways, I'm going to go and continue on with what I said. You absolute man-child, thank you, Sabrina Carpenter, is as follows. Okay.
And this is why people did not vote for Kamala.
Dude, Whitney, what did you just say, Whitney? Can you repeat that? What? She was not.
The
paying
name
attention to the
calling is
conversation.
why people did not vote for Kamala.
Kamala. Okay, so you understand like anything that's happening in the conversation?
Yeah,
right now?
whatever.
Wait, do you know that Donald Trump had a nickname and a name
Yes,
that he
I
would call
do.
everyone?
But I'm listening to the way that he's talking to people.
Wait, so then if you cared about name calling as a reason to not vote for Democrats, why would you have voted for Donald Trump, who has a name call for every single person that he would run up against?
Because he took care of something that should have been taken care of 40-something years ago, last night or yesterday morning in Iran.
Well, no, why
You're
did he
okay
pull
with
out of the
people saying
nuclear?
death to America?
Why did he pull out of
Americans?
Why did he pull out of the nuclear peace agreement, Whitney?
But you're okay with people saying death to Americans? Like what?
What? I'm confused.
Oh.
I don't want to go to war with everyone around the world that thinks that.
Wait, real quick, Starbucks, have we talked before? Because Sid with the
Yeah,
$10
what was that?
on Venmo just said, by the way, you've talked to Starbucks at least 5 times a while back, and he was insufferable every single time. Have we spoken before?
Maybe a couple months ago, maybe like 7-8 months ago.
Okay. Well, I only let.
I'm
people
still
on
waiting
this
for you to
live
answer my
one time.
question.
I'm
You
gonna
started
ans-
speaking.
I'm gonna answer your question, then I'm gonna kick you because I only talked to guest one
Why
time.
is
that? Because I only talked to one guest one time. We've talked 5 times.
We didn't talk more than once, and it was 7 or 8 months ago.
I don't believe.
Can you
me,
just
because
agree
the
that you
people-
can't keep up with my conversation?
If I
Why do you guys always do this?
If I couldn't keep up with your conversation, then why would I be willing to answer your question before I kick you? Like I'm literally trying to be cordial here and answer the question that I asked before I remove you. Like what?
It's very simple because you're going to make up a lie and then kick me so I can't answer.
Don't even give him the ability to get his
That's exactly
question
what they
answered.
did.
Whitney,
Bro, well, I hold. Whoa. I have rules on the live. Listen, let me tell you both a little story, and I'm gonna mute both of you guys while I say this because someone has an atrocious echo. I have boundaries and rules, okay? And let me tell you, I know 2 demographics of people that like to break boundaries and rules and then act as if the person that set the boundaries and rules was a bad person who is in the wrong.
That means
Trump-
you're a snowflake.
Hey, Whitney, how about you shut the hell up? I muted you for a reason so I could speak. So pipe the fuck down. You could say whatever you want as soon as I'm done
You're
talking.
a kid. You are a kid.
I'm a kid at 20 years old. So Trump wanted to date a kid when he said
Yep.
he'd be dating a
That's a
10-year-old in 10
baby.
years.
That's a
Cooked.
And look at this. The Trump supporters can't even let me speak. Oh my God. This is nuts. I'm living in a dystopian nightmare. Why do I do this to myself? Do you guys want to see the back of my head? I'm losing hair because of these motherfuckers. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and finish what I said. Whitney, do you have any level of self-control?
I do, but not
Okay.
for immature
Well, then
kids.
control
like you.
yourself and wait for me to finish
You're a
speaking.
baby.
If
You're
I'm
a baby.
if I'm the baby, how come I'm playing the role of the kindergarten teacher trying to get grown-ass adults to
Go to your
hush
room.
up
Go to
until
your
I'm done
room. Go to
speaking?
your mama's basement.
Bubble in your mouth, Whitney.
Go to your mom's.
Oh,
go to
2
your mom-
fingers.
basement.
Coyote ears.
Go to your
Bubble in your
mom's
coyote ears. Excuse me. Attention. Bubble. Put the bubble. Shut the fuck
It's like
up.
this, Dean. Isn't it like this?
I don't even know.
Oh no, you're triggered. Are you triggered? You're triggered. Oh no.
Stay silent.
He's
Stay
triggered.
silent.
Okay, I'm going to try to just finish to respond to what Starbucks has said. So I know 2 demographics of people that don't react well to boundaries. And when you break the boundaries, you think the person that set the boundaries was in the wrong. Trump supporters and 4-year-olds.
My boyfriend wants to know if you're a fairy.
Do you have a boyfriend?
I do. He's right here with me. He feels the same way. He's saying go to your room. Oh, no, we both voted for Trump.
Wait, did you say your boyfriend told you to go to your room?
No, he told you to go to your room.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
He said you can't even be in this conversation.
Okay.
Wait, so he's a child. He's 20 years old. Donald Trump said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, right? Is that not Donald Trump saying he would
My
date a child?
boyfriend is 37. My boyfriend is 37.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
Rachel, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo saying I hate Whitney. How do you feel about Rachel sending $15 just to say that she hates you?
I could care less about her.
Jamie,
Trump
thank you for the
2020.
$10 over on Venmo saying thank you for what you do. I appreciate you for the love. As well as Brandon.
JD Vance 2028.
1 second. As well as Brandon, thank you for the $25 saying, I don't know how you do this. I'm glad somebody did their research. This is also for future therapy. Thank God. I'm going to need it.
Right now.
Oh, do we have an emotional man on the line?
Oh, yeah, he's ahead of me. Sorry. We were at the pool. He's pulling the wagon.
Could you put the boyfriend on the mic real quick?
Yeah, come here, Eric.
Come here, Eric.
He wants to talk to me.
Hop on the mic, Eric.
Oh, no.
Hop on the mic, buddy. Oh, they got the mag. Oh, Eric, are you there?
While she's lagging, can I thank people real quick?
He's here.
One second. I just want to ask Eric real quick. Eric, are you there, buddy? Come on that mic.
Eric. He's walking back to the pool. Just a minute.
Oh, he's running away?
Go upstairs.
No, he takes the stairs. He's afraid of elevators. He's been locked in an elevator before, so he's a little claustrophobic.
Okay, well, would you wait for
Are you guys related?
Are we related? No.
I was just trying to
silly
clarify.
question. No, we are a little. We've had a couple of little.
That one caught me off guard. That one caught me. That one caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. That one caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting.
No, we've had some spritzers.
Okay, is Eric here yet?
No, I got to go up the elevator to the 4th floor.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, me and Parker are both gonna thank some donors real quick. Parker, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo for trying to keep us calm in these hard times. I appreciate you for the love.
You're
It's
welcome.
definitely gone to shit. As well as Brandon, thank you so much for the $25, as I did already point out. Thank you so much. Kylie with a with a 10. Mimi with a 5. Jamie with a 10. Let's see here. Michaela, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo, saying I'm surprised Whitney has a boyfriend. Well, apparently they're perfect for one another. Dale, thank you for the $20, saying Whitney's boyfriend is also her brother. Thank you for the observation, Dale. Abigail with the $5, saying this woman is making me so sad. Like, get a hold of yourself. Says Abigail, the $5 donation. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Now, there's a handful of people over on PayPal. So I'm going to go ahead and load up my PayPal at this time. We're going to thank a handful of people super duper quickly. Hannah, thank you for the $5 on PayPal saying,
Are you my brother?
From another mother.
Oh, hi, Eric. I have a question for you.
Eric, he has a question for you.
What's his question?
What's your question?
Well, come on the mic, buddy. You could do it.
Here, ask him. Let him ask you.
Hi, Eric.
Hold on.
Hold on, he's getting our beach things in the door.
He needs a moment. Let me know when you're good to go, buddy. Let me know when you're good to go. Take your time.
We were at the beach. We were at the pool.
Okay. Oh, we'll give him another minute or so. Caden, thank you for the $7 over on PayPal. I appreciate that. And Linda, thank you for the $10 for my kindergarten teacher pay. And then Mary Rose with the $20 over on PayPal saying that this donation is fake. I guess so. Guys, I had Parker hold off reading his donations because I wanted to talk to Eric like a minute and a half ago. Is Eric there or not, Whitney? If Eric's not there, I'm just going to give Parker the go-ahead.
He's here. He's taking our stuff out to the balcony. He said he's not talking to no talk show guy.
Oh, I get it, because he has the IQ of a fucking walnut in a family tree of a circle. Listen, I get it. He's scared. I get it, Whitney. Go ahead,
He's
Parker.
not
Take it
scared.
away.
He's
All right.
not scared.
Oh, then get him on the mic.
No, go ahead, Parker. Thank you, Dad.
Eve, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Rachel with the $20 for the fake money. Thank you so much. Taylor with the $10. Cheryl with the $30. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Allie with the $50. Thank you so much. I absolutely will. Thank you so much. Parker with the $20. Thank you so much for the fake money. I really appreciate it. Sarah with the $1. Julie with the $5. Thank you so much. Nightblade, thank you for the $4.21. Linda, thank you for the $3. Linda with the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Linda on PayPal. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Some W's for Linda in the comment section. Then I got some people on YouTube as well. Rob with $100 on YouTube super chat for thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rob. But W's for Rob in the comment section. Drew Girl, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yes, I did see that actually. I think we've brought that up in the lives in the past. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate it. Pumpkin, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Elizabeth with the $5. Thank you. As well as Pet, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And John with the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. They said, Parker, they're not related. They're just second cousins.
And Sarah with the $10 over on Venmo saying, please tell this lady I said it's wild how you've got nothing in common with Trump except cholesterol and delusion. Autumn with the $5. Thank you for the love. Martin with the $5 as well, saying, repeat after me. Parker is a loser. Thank you for donating me $5 just to call Parker a loser. I'm going to donate that to Planned Parenthood in your name. Christine, thank you for the $35 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you so much for the love, as well as Nessa with a $25 saying, please bury them. It's you know what's that saying go? You can't win a debate against an idiot. Something like that. I truly see it's the hardest. I have the hardest time burying guests. The dumber they are. Let's just it's like I don't know. Amber with the $20 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you so much for the love, saying they are insufferable. I agree. Deborah with the $5 for Whitney's brother / cousin, etc. Yeah, we don't really know. We're unsure. Sonny, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal for my incredible patience. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Z with the $10 over on PayPal saying Whitney's talking to her quote-unquote boyfriend like he's 5. She was talking to him like he was quite young. Carson with a $10. Why is everyone so stupid today? Beats me, man. Thank you for the 10. Diana with a 5 and Katie with the 20. Katie, seriously, thank you so much. Show some love to Katie. Down below, as well as Anne with a 20, saying, imagine taking time out of your beach weekend to own the libs. Sad. Yeah, no, that is a little bit sad. I don't really know what they're after here. As well as Brittany with the $5. I appreciate you so much for the love. It is really sad to say as a 33-year-old mom, to see Whitney, who's pushing 40, act like a child and sit here to try to bully somebody who they think is a child. I'm always watching and hearing Maga. It makes me so sad for my kids' future. Thank you for what you do. You know what? That is a good perspective. Why are you taking time out of your beach vacation as a 40-year-old woman to bully quote-unquote children?
Because we were just scrolling TikTok.
Say, think of the $20 for brother from another mother implies that they have the same dad. Lol. So yeah, I guess they are related, chat. I guess
Okay,
they just conceded that they are related.
Sure, if that makes y'all feel better.
Well, you said he said brother from another mother. That just implies that you have the same
kidding.
father, right?
No, he was kidding.
Okay, so what did you come up here to talk about?
You guys don't know anything. You're like literally kids.
Right. How many continents are there?
7.
What are they?
3 of them.
Don't ask me to name them right now. I've had like 4 spritzers. I could do it.
then do it.
Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, North America, South America.
You know what? It's
and
5 o'clock
Australia.
somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere, Parker. It is.
Wow, you could successfully name the 7 continents. I guess you're smarter than me.
Whitney, I have another question. If you pass the person in a race that's in second place, right? What place are you now in?
Second.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I didn't even expect her to know that one. W. Whitney there. Next question, Whitney. One more question for you.
Oh,
this
my
one's
God.
really interesting. At what temperature? She's listening to
It
the
boils
lives.
at 100.
So Katie knows how many continents there are and knows what temperature at Fahrenheit water boils. I guess she's smarter than us.
Yes, she
No,
definitely
you
is.
just don't have much life experience.
Whitney, can I ask a question now? Can you name one Donald Trump economic policy that he influenced to get passed that's good for the economy?
I like the
I like to see homos naked.
What?
What did your husband say?
That was Eric. That was
He already
Eric
just said. What did he say?
coming down the hallway, being silly.
What
He's
did he-
being silly.
I know, but what was it? What did he say that was silly?
I'm not going to repeat that. I'm not going to repeat it.
I think I heard the word naked.
Yeah, I heard that. That's the only thing I heard.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said something about that. Don't ask.
Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and disconnect you at this point in time. Rebecca, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo for having to put up with the insufferable husband.
Well, I was also going to say 100 degrees is not boiling point, by the way.
I don't know. That's Celsius. I don't know where she came up with that. It's like 220 Fahrenheit, at least where I'm at. Let's see here. And thank you for the $20. I really appreciate that. Justin with a 5. And Riley, thank you so much for the $20 as well. Thank you, Riley, and Adam with a 5. You guys are awesome. All right, everybody. It has been a very long day for me. It's been a very long couple of days. I've been trying to do my best to report the facts and keep up with world events on my feed posts on Instagram and TikTok. And I think kind of keeping up with everything that's going on in the world, plus like these 4-hour lives of debating delusional Trump supporters, is a little bit too much for me. So I'm very, very, very exhausted, but I don't expect this to last forever. I'm going to keep on doing it because I want to make sure that you guys are informed. I will see you guys tomorrow, just because it's very important to do. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am going to go ahead and end for the night. We've been live for over 4 hours, so I appreciate everyone so much for joining into the live stream today. I am going to assume that Parker is going to go live. Are you going to go live, Parker?
Yep, I will be live.
Phenomenal. So head over to @ParkerGetAJob on TikTok and YouTube. Go watch him have some of these conversations. I'm sure that you will see more feed posts from me this evening and tomorrow. I am planning a video kind of going over how Donald Trump is directly linked to any threat of nuclear arming that we may see on behalf of Iran and what that looks like. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be a whole lot of, it'll be a cool video, very informative video once it drops. But I'm going to go ahead and end. Everybody head over to @ParkerGetAJob, rather. That's on TikTok and YouTube for more debates. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. And Parker, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, man. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you as well. Goodbye.